post of me talking about you. Good morning, everybody. Hey, it is Thursday, TGITH. I'm so thankful for this day. I'm thankful to have my morning here with you, Kurt. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I think I'm getting a little over the top on the TGI blah, blah, blahs. Just a little bit.
Are you not thankful?
I'm very thankful, but it's a little much for me. It kind of breaks my heart every time that you do it. Just a little bit. Not bad.
Well, I don't want your heart to be broken.
Okay.
And I don't want y'all's hearts to be broken, but I am thankful for another day. This is KHEA Radio. We're about to kickstart your morning. It is Thursday. We've been having an awesome week so far. Yesterday, we had the opportunity to learn about this crawfish bash. It's a throwdown. It's taking place in Galveston, and it's actually in a couple weeks. So we're going to be giving away some tickets. Not today, but you're going to want to stay tuned because you're going to have the opportunity to win some of these. Hey, this weekend, I think, is the big crawfish bash over there at the dog track in Lamar.
That's next weekend.
Oh, it's next weekend?
It's Saturday, April 20th at the dog park track, yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? Don't pay attention to what I'm saying about anything. But, yeah, that's going to be exciting. We had them in as well. This time of year is awesome. The weather is starting to make the minor adjustments, so it's nice outside. The crawfish are starting to get bigger.
It's all about crawfish in our area.
As it should be. And you know what? I noticed, my wife told me this. She was like, I noticed Kurt was kind of not really saying much whenever y'all were talking about crawfish.
I don't know crawfish like you do. I don't know it.
And I'm not even like an expert or anything, right? I feel like I'm just fortunate enough to be born here, so I have a little bit of knowledge whenever it comes to crawfish.
Are you going to insult me for not being born in Texas?
Hey, it's not your fault.
It's not my fault. It's my parents.
It is, okay,
and
it
their
is their
parents'
fault.
parents, and their parents' parents.
All the way from Greece or where you say
the
you're
Greek
from?
princess.
Greek, yeah.
I could have been royalty. Dang, great grandpa.
This close. Hey, let us know, what do you have going on today? Let us know. It is Thursday. It's a beautiful day. Hey, good morning, Tracy. I saw those cupcakes over there at Cupcake Cache with the tacos on top. They look so good. I shared them out from Talk of Taco this morning. Dude, taco cupcakes.
Wait, you did that? I posted that on our Instagram last night.
Yeah, and then I saw that they shared it out as well to their social media. And so I went ahead and put it on Talk of Taco's Facebook page today. So make sure you go follow Cupcake Cache. They have a ton of options. With Easter coming up, there's a lot of seasonal. I think even Peeps.
Yeah, I think Steve got on yesterday and was commenting along and said that Peeps were going to be a thing today.
Beep. Who likes Peeps? I like Peeps if they're on Cupcake Cache cupcakes.
I used to down the entire box of the yellow ones. You know how they would come in those little square boxes?
Yeah,
and there were 3 in a pack, right?
Sure, yeah.
I'm not stopping after the first box.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to the third.
You're an animal.
I'm taking them all down. Imagine all that sugar. This is why Kurt was fat growing up. This is why.
Don't blame the Peeps.
Peeps.
I almost said something bad. I'm not going to say. Hey, we got 10 seconds. We're going to go on the FM as well. We're going to keep it going. Again, let us know, what do you have going on today? We're going to get it going right now. Good morning. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy.
And I'm Kurt.
It is Thursday. It's a beautiful day outside. Man, it has been really nice this week. I saw you went to the beach. You went to Galveston not too long ago.
Yeah, on Tuesday, I decided to skip apparently a work function and go to the beach. I went down to Galveston.
Wow.
And I had a great time. We strolled down the seawall. Went and
I'm just shaking my head at you. You said you skipped to. You didn't have to throw that part in there.
I know, but I felt bad.
I was calling. I'm like, Kurt, where are you at? Intern Ethan was there.
You weren't even there.
You don't know. You weren't there. You don't know if I was there or not. So I was there.
Yes.
Because you weren't. I know for a fact you weren't there. But yeah, I could have been there.
The girlfriend has never been to the Strand before. Has been to Galveston, but had never been to the Strand. And so we went to the Strand. I went to Pier 21 right there by Olympia Grill. Watched the sun go down.
Dude.
It was great. It was so much fun. And just walking through, I forget all of the history that the Strand has. You know, I was talking to her about some of the big events that they have on the Strand, which like Dickens on the Strand is one of them in November. And it's usually really super cold, but everyone dresses up in old garb from like the 1800s.
You're a really big Dickens on the Strand kind of guy, aren't you?
I
just
am.
Tell by looking at you.
I love it, and I love the old feeling of the Strand, and I think it's great. Some of the shops that are down there, you got the old Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. You got I'm gonna mess up the L.A. What's it all called? It's called the L.A. something. LA Kings.
LA Fitness.
No, LA Kings.
Same thing. LA Fitness. La Kings.
La Kings.
Yeah.
LA. And there's just tons of cool shops to walk through and go shop. And so, we did some of those things and had dinner, and it was fantastic.
Where'd you eat dinner?
I like Floats.
I don't know what that place is.
So it's right there on the seawall, and
they have Coke floats.
No, they actually have a pool area, but they have like $3 hamburgers that are to die for. And they have this like awesome like sriracha mayo sauce that I love. Well, I'm going to the $3 hamburger. Anytime I have a chance to have a $3 hamburger at a place that's not like fast food, I'm taking it.
First of all, put some respect on McDonald's name, because you can get $1 for a burger for like $1.
At McDonald's, I'm saying not a fast food restaurant.
You can get 3 of those burgers for $3, and then you're good to go. Just combine them onto one. That's what I would do.
I saw yesterday somebody shared down a like secret recipe of McDonald's, like all of the interesting things that you could get that's off the menu, and one was like, it looked like it had a McChicken and then 2 hamburger patties inside of like a Whopper. I don't know. It was weird.
And now you're talking my language. See, that's my love language. I grew up like walking to McDonald's with my friends, in the summertime.
Right.
Just because we would get change, probably out of the cushions, and then just walk down there, and then it was fun, That's what we did as kids. And then we'd go play, ride bikes, and just do whatever else.
I still try to jump into the play areas. It doesn't work anymore for us.
Hey, yesterday we had some fun. We went on air with Pierre. There is a leadership conference that's coming to Lamarck, actually to our building right here at Abundant Life, and that's going to be very exciting.
So guess who apparently is the contact for the church and for the radio station for this event?
Who?
Apparently me.
Oh, you are?
I guess.
Nice.
I was told yesterday, well, I think that you're the contact. I'm like, no one has told me. Oh, yeah, you're the contact. Okay.
That's what they said.
So I guess I'm helping set up and make sure that LeaderCast is a success.
LeaderCast will be a success. It's going to be exciting. There are some videos that are getting put into production that are going to be released, so you'll have a better idea of what this is going to be. But you're going to want to go get your tickets now. We're going to be teaming up with the city of Lamarck, making sure that we get the word out. We're teaming up with Pierre, Topstar, and making sure that everybody who wants to be here is going to be there. It's going to be a great time.
I think it's a wonderful opportunity. If you own a business or you run an organization, this is an opportunity for you to get some insights. It's a big conference that takes place all around the country. I think the home base is actually in Atlanta, and so it's a tune-in session where you can actually tune in and watch it, and it's an exclusive. Like, you can't find it anywhere else unless you're in a building that is broadcasting that event live. So it's not online. You can't sit at home. You have to come to those events in order to see what's going on.
Yeah, I think that our experience here may even be better than the one that takes place in Georgia. The people that are there is going to be so much fun. First of all,
we're here.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
This location has something that they don't have in Georgia that they're going to be desperately and sorely missing. Me and you.
Right.
So we're going to be there, and that just makes it that much better. So you'll have the opportunity to hang out with us. I'm going to sneak up on the stage at some point, and I'm sure security and Curt will escort me out, but I'm going to be like, what's up, everybody? And be like, oh, no, it's not time for that. Okay, but we'll see.
How do we get on the docket? We need to be on the docket. Like, even if it's like during a break that they're doing there in Atlanta, they need to be like, we're going to bring up our good friends, KHEA Radio.
Yeah. Docket. Docket reminds me of like something that goes on in a courtroom. Isn't that how they use that?
On the docket? Yeah, it's on the docket. It's coming up. Or they use it like in city council meetings and stuff like that, where it's like, on the docket today is going to be blah, blah, blah.
Cool. Hey, but when we were on air with Pierre, that was a fun time. Did you see the video that we released?
I think I did. I saw me running around. And you know what? I love that shot. Like, it feels like almost an office-y, like if we were going to be on The Office. Like, it almost felt like those kind of moments.
I told you that whole vlog series, it seems like it's something from it's Office-esque. And that's not necessarily on purpose. I don't know if it's just the style of editing that gets done. I don't even know who's putting those videos together. But, like, That's the vibe that I'm getting. Does anybody else besides me and Curt get that vibe? Which I guess is a good thing because I love that show.
So I need to like stare off into the camera awkwardly.
Yeah, you do that already. I think without it doesn't even have. Thank you for staring at the camera.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Right now it's 8:48. This is KHEARadio.com. 99.5 FM is Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11 a.m. We're going to be learning about an event that's taking place. Is that this weekend with bowling?
Next weekend.
Yeah, everything's
no, it's
next
the
weekend.
27th. I'm sorry. It's 2 weekends
2 weekends.
away. 2 weekends.
Okay.
The 27th. I'm so confused on what day it is.
Yeah, so it's going to be an event with bowling, helping some children in their time of need. And then we're also going to be talking to Ryan Davidson from Reality of Wrestling. He's the bear. This dude is the bear. Whenever he comes out, he literally turns into a grizzly bear and just starts like beating people up, for a lack of a better word.
You know, the one thing that I really like about Ryan Davidson, and you and I have sat at events before, and I always say, this is the guy that like works at a mechanic shop, comes home at night, has the TV dinner, and, you know, watching.
Are you going to tell him this?
I'm so going to tell him this when he comes in.
Oh, man.
Watch, you know, like the mechanic comes home, TV dinner, on the TV tray, sitting in the lazy boy.
Right.
That's the guy. He reminds me of that guy.
You have said this, and
is that stereotyping?
I'm a little concerned about your well-being after you tell this to him, because that dude could rip you apart.
I just got a little worried that was him.
Ryan Davidson walked by. No, actually, it was Miss Joanne with some coffee. Hey, this is KHEA Radio. We have about 10 minutes. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to get into our first guest. But I'm going to ask you a huge favor. If you're watching on Facebook, please feel free to share this video out. We're trying to spread some positivity. We're talking about an event that's taking place. It's Bowling for Orphans. And you're gonna have the opportunity to go have a good time and then give back to the community and help some kids that currently don't have places to live, that don't have family, or they're taken in someone else's care.
We have talked to Laura before about some of that stuff, so I'm really super excited about it.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. You want to talk some more about Ryan Davidson ripping you apart? I got a little concerned when I saw something out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, bam, slap, Ryan Davidson. Boom. Hey, that's crazy. So Booker T at WrestleMania, he got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame again with his brother for his tag team. So did you see any of the clips or anything that they shared about that?
At WrestleMania, the only thing that I saw this weekend that dealt with wrestling was there was a guy who got tackled.
Yeah.
You saw that? Like,
yeah.
He was in the middle of a speech, and some fan, like, ran on stage and then got, like, beat up.
Yeah, so it was Bret Hart. Bret the
Hart.
Hitman Hart. I remember watching him as a kid. You know, he's a wrestling legend, and he was giving a speech, talking in the ring, and some fan just ran in there and tried to tackle him. What do you think should be the punishment for those situations? What do you think should be the punishment?
I think he already got his punishment, right? Like, you're going to fight a wrestler? Like, you're going to run on stage. And the guy looked tiny. The guy looked super tiny.
Well, he's like a normal-sized guy. It's like me and you. And then someone like, there's like 50 Ryan Davidsons that came out and just were like, no, you can't do that, man. Just like pounding on him.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I think he got his punishment. Like,
mistake. You made a mistake.
You know, the other thing, so when people do stupid things like that, like, let's say they jump over the fence at the baseball game, or they
sneak into the Galveston County Fair and Rodeo.
Right. They get beat up. Like, they get beat up.
Is that fair?
But, you know, they also don't take the camera shot. So you never see, like, they're like, we're going to take a commercial break right now. And on TV, yeah, they're just beating them up. They don't want to show it anymore. Because people used to do that just to get on, like, TV.
Yeah, I think people still do that, but they're like, well, we don't want to give this person the satisfaction, what they're craving, the attention. We're just going to cut away. So, but that's what people want. Like, if you're at the game, it's a little funny, but it's disrespectful.
I wonder if that happened at Reality of Wrestling, and maybe I can ask Kevin or even Booker T himself. What would happen if I ran up on the stage?
Well, maybe we can find out.
Suit.
We can find out this weekend.
This weekend, they have an event coming up on Saturday. So that's going to be really kind of cool. We're going to be talking to Ryan Davidson. You know, speaking of, like, stupid things that we do, as long as we're on this topic here.
What do you mean we? Oh, keep going.
Anyways,
I'm sorry.
Yesterday, I sent you an article, and we've talked about this a couple of times before about just how your perception in social media and everything else. Like this guy who jumped over the fence, or jumped over the arena to beat up bars, he's going to be scarred for that. Like he's forever going to remember that. He's not going to find a job. But there's a gentleman named Nick Bosa. He plays for Ohio State. He's a defensive end, going number 1 in the draft.
First of all, the Bosa family, aren't they like
huge
football legends?
Legends.
They just breed football players that are just coming out. Bosa.
So he's going number 1. Like everyone's saying, like no doubt going number 1.
Okay. But
he had been tweeting, for years. As a high school kid, as a college kid, he's tweeting out like Beyonce. He was trashing on Beyonce a little bit. He was trashing on San Francisco a little bit.
The 49ers?
Colin Kaepernick. And he had all these tweets, and all of a sudden one day they're gone. Like he went through and deleted them, but people had screenshots. That information just doesn't disappear, But now he's like, I got to be careful. I'm going in the NFL draft. I'm going number 1. I might end up in San Francisco.
What if you delete the whole account? Is it gone?
Well, people still screenshot. Anytime that you post something.
What if you're not famous?
I don't know.
Asking for myself.
How many screenshots are out there of me and you? That's what I want to know.
There's probably none.
Hopefully not. Ethan's been over here writing down numbers every time he's in here. I'm scared.
Yeah, we shouldn't teach Ethan how to screenshot because that would be way easier for him to do that.
He's like, let me record it.
He gets out his typewriter and like, and it's like, with a pen and a quill with the ink. It's like a feather, and he's writing it down in a.
On April 11th at 8:54.
And he looks like he's in Dickens in the Strand, like garb full down. We're like, Ethan, why are you dressed that way? It's just what what I'm doing, and he writes it down.
Man.
So, well, I don't know, Ethan. You're not here today, and y'all don't know that because you can't usually see Ethan. But Ethan, stop doing that.
Yeah,
stop doing that, Ethan.
So it's just a reminder today to be positive. Always post positive stuff on your social media, so then you don't have to be like Nick Bosa and go through and delete them.
I deleted my Twitter a long time ago.
I didn't delete Twitter, but I've definitely deleted some Facebook pages throughout my days, so that way they never come back and harm me. I still check it every once in a while. I get on there and be like, I wonder what my old friends are up to.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to delete it again because I can't get any of this information out.
Why haven't you logged on and posted it in any of the groups, like our videos? Like sometimes we'll share videos into some of the groups.
Yes, I can do that.
But you're banned.
I'm in Facebook jail on my current profile, but I could go and get the old one that I used to have.
The backup, dude.
The backup.
I like it. Hey, we're going to take a quick break on the FM. When we come back, we're going to have Mr. Ryan Davidson in studio talking about reality of wrestling, talking about his nickname, the Bear. I want to learn all about it, and I want to see if he can tear Curt apart. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Coming up next is Elevation with The Highest. You can stream us from anywhere in the world at KHEAradio.com. You can also maybe download the TuneIn app. You can call, text a friend, tell them, hey, you need to listen to these guys. We're talking about some cool stuff. This is Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11 a.m.
Yeah, coming up also, we're going to be talking about Bowling for Orphans, a tournament that's taking place on the 27th. Laura's going to be in studio, so stay tuned. Plenty to come and a chance to win a cruise later on. We'll talk more. KHEA Radio.
Boom! What's up, Daniel Guidry?
Hey, share this out,
Is
Daniel.
that Tiny?
That's Tiny.
Is that Tiny? Hey.
That's Tiny. Share it out, Tiny.
Hey, thanks to Tiny and his wife. They had given us some tickets to give away. We're going to be giving these away as it gets a little bit closer to the event. We shared out a broken down segment of the interview from yesterday, and it's awesome. I went back and watched it myself. So it's always fun to do that because you even being in the middle of a conversation, whenever you're thinking about stuff, you still miss stuff, and so you can go back and watch something and then be like, oh wow, I missed that part, or just be reminded. So it's always cool to do that. So again, hey, let us know, what do you have going on today? What kind of stuff are you getting into? I think it's supposed to be a nice day. Yesterday was awesome. And today it looks like there's a high of 76. Ooh, it looks like we may get some rain in the afternoon, but just for a couple hours. So we'll see. We will see. It's going to be a good day. We are excited. It's Thursday. It's Friday Junior. I saw that Colleen Merritt from the city of Lamarck, what did she say? She said it's Friday Eve. So do y'all have any big weekend plans? This is the time of year where there is something going on, if not every day, like an event something with the cause or just something fun that you can take the family to. It's definitely every weekend, almost every day, that there is a lot of cool stuff going on. Even things where you can go like, I'm going to this in the morning, I'm going this in the afternoon, and I'm going this into the evening, and you'll be set to have a ton of fun. Take your family, including like all these the crawfish festivals. And here at Abundant Life, we're actually having an Easter play. So if you want to come that weekend of Easter, it's going to be like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 7:00. So make sure that you come out and check that out. Kurt's staring at me over here in the back. He's trying to see if he can get on the camera. Kurt, go this way. Walk that to that side. So I'm going to see if you can. No, he's not listening. I don't know if he can hear me. I think he can hear me. He's just ignoring me. That's okay. So I'm going to swap this camera. I guess I'm not. I don't want to reach all the way over there. But, yeah, so this is it's Thursday. We're excited. We got Ryan Davidson coming in. And we do have a very cool show. So buckle up. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yesterday we went on air with Pierre. We shared a little bit of that experience and the behind-the-scenes footage. If you didn't see Kurt eat it, and he actually ate it. He fell down, almost got knocked out, concussion. He may have had a concussion. The unicorn.
Yeah, man.
How's it going?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Awesome.
All right, so we got Mr. Ryan Davidson in studio. This is your first time here.
This is my first time here. Yes. Can everybody hear me good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're perfect.
I just want to get the keys out of my back pocket so I can sit comfortably. Here we go.
I feel you.
The keys go in the back pocket. That's what I've been doing wrong my entire life.
Well, no, I think I'm actually doing it wrong, to be honest with you. Okay. I think headphones go in like this. Okay, perfect.
But
wow.
The one thing though, Ryan, is no one's ever going to tell you that you were doing it wrong.
Yeah,
you're a bear.
Yeah, I know. Rawr, exactly. So I'm kind of working on that. I think that's what bears do. I don't know. So no, I'm just kidding. But gentlemen, I appreciate you guys having me on, man. This is awesome.
So every time that we come in, I usually end up getting put in some sort of wrestling move because I anger the wrestlers. Just be ready for that.
Do you want to go? Do you want to go right now, bro? Do you want to go right now?
Get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way.
So then we can just finish the rest of the
So I
interview.
actually have passed out on camera here.
What? How?
So we had an MMA fighter in the first time.
What did he put you in? I'm just curious.
Rear naked chokehold.
Nice.
And I didn't know.
A classic, but effective.
I had no
Always.
idea that he was doing that. I was like, hey, yeah, just demonstrate a move. It's the first time we've ever had an MMA fighter in here. He's like, okay. So I sit down in the chair, and he goes, so you go like this, and you just start to squeeze. Slowly start to squeeze. And then all of a sudden, I'm like,
yeah, and everything goes black. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I've never experienced that in my life.
Yeah, being choked out, I can honestly say I actually dabbled in a little bit of MMA myself, to be honest with you. Never had any professional fights or anything. I think pro wrestling has pretty much beat my face up enough, to be honest with you. So, but I did train in MMA a little bit, jiu-jitsu and what have you. And yeah, I'm not afraid to admit, man, I've been choked out quite a few times learning the holds and I guess the mechanics of jiu-jitsu, so to speak. So it's definitely was brought into humbling grounds for sure. So I know that's it's not fun, but I also know what it's like to choke somebody out too. So that's
Return the favor.
Also fun. Yeah, return that receipt is what we call it in the business.
Okay,
give a receipt.
I feel like you got to be able to, if you want to put someone else in that move, you got to know what it feels like, just to be able to experience everything.
Right, for sure. And in pro wrestling, we're all about entertainment. We're always trying to give the best product to all the fans. So of course, we want to make it as best of the athletic competition as we can, but we also in most cases, try not to permanently hurt anybody or anything like that, because it is entertainment. We want to make sure everybody goes home happy, goes home to their families. But then again, if you want to try somebody like Ruthless Ryan Davidson in a ring, I don't know if you are going to go home the same way that you came in. So we'll see how that goes.
That family with the TV dinner and everything else.
You won't be able to see your family again.
Nope, no TV dinners when you face Ryan Davidson.
So I've always told this to Gardy, and this is maybe where what I was talking. This is maybe where I get knocked out. So I always tell Gardy, I'm like, every time that you wrestle, because we go to a lot of wrestling events, we're there all the time.
Awesome.
I always say,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I was like, hey Gardy, Gardy, that's the guy that's like a mechanic during the day, and then he goes home and to his TV dinner on his TV tray, on his recliner.
Just winning the title. And he's like, all right, another day, back again on the grind. That's what he tells me.
You know, to be honest with you, there's quite a few very interesting careers that, as you're coming up in the pro wrestling ranks, that you actually have like certain men and women that have some very interesting jobs. Like there's a good buddy of mine that's an attorney in New York City that, goes and does pro wrestling and everything when he's not being an attorney. You got other guys. I mean, normally the thing in pro wrestling is like personal trainers or, things of that nature. But, other than that, you'd be amazed where it's all like, oh, I'm a lawyer, or, oh, I'm actually a radiologist and part-time. And I'm just like, wait, what? Are you serious? Like, you kidding me? But, yeah, I haven't met any mechanics, though, to be honest with you. So.
I feel like that's the one. Like, they have the wrench, the big old wrench as they come out on the stage.
Right.
So, like, they're dragging it like it's Thor's hammer.
Well, it could be. I met a lot of guys that have, like, worked in, like, docks or, like, freights or anything like that, stuff like that. So maybe that counts for something, I guess. I don't know. Actually, one of the guys, I won't say his name, but he actually is I take that back. He's actually a aircraft mechanic for the Air Force. Actually works on a lot of fighter planes. I won't give away who that is, though, in reality wrestling.
Okay.
So, but,
wow.
But yeah. That's I found that very interesting. So there's a lot of interesting people in reality wrestling, to be honest with you. It's a bunch of, for whatever reason, we like to fly around in a square circle and get beat up and beat people up, and it's a wonderful, beautiful thing in a weird way. So,
Curt, if you ever decided to test the waters at your professional wrestling career, I think that your persona, your character could be the mechanic. And you come in with that wrench and it's like, has it over like a big one, ridiculously
right?
big. I don't even know what it's for.
hey, and your catchphrase can be, "It's time to tune up the business." You know what I mean? Ooh, yeah. You're welcome for that one,
dude.
Yeah, you're welcome for that one.
That was good.
I think we need it. I think we need the mechanic at reality wrestling. What do you think?
Yeah, it's time for a tune-up.
It's time for a
And
tune-up.
everybody's like, "Oh man."
I feel like, you know how it goes, right? The story, because I'm also a hot dog. I wear a hot dog suit.
Of course, yeah, he does.
Nice.
He just
I
like,
got a funny story for you about the hot dog suit. Go ahead. Keep going.
okay, I was gonna say, like, you could start as the hot dog suit, lose a few matches, get beat up, and then one day he goes, and one day the hot dog was tired of getting beat up into ground beef, so he decided to be a mechanic. And then goes out as a mechanic, and they're like, hot dog to mechanic?
Worst promo ever.
Worst promo ever.
Yeah, maybe so awful, but yet so good. And I mean, I don't know if there was a hot dog that turned into a mechanic. I mean, you already have my attention, so
right?
I mean, that's kind of really a lot of the battle in pro wrestling is just getting somebody's attention. But back to the hot dog thing. Interesting fact. Do you guys remember the WWE wrestler Adam Rose?
Yes.
Do you remember him? Okay, he's come out like kind of No Way Jose right now in WWE. Kind of does things where, he comes out, he dances, they have like a Congo line, everybody's having a good time, party and everything. Well, Adam Rose was like the party guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was, only a few years ago. And they would have different people dressed up as certain things. So myself, Brian Keith, and Rex Andrews have all been the hot dog in Adam Rose's he called his party guys like rosebuds or what have you. So I do know what it's like to put on a hot dog suit and dance around in front of like 15,000 people and stuff like that. So, and then I also know what it's like to wrestle, beat up, and get beaten up in front of 15,000 people. So it's interesting. So when you said hot dog suit, I was like, oh, I can relate.
I do it. I wear it all the time.
So you'll be like on SmackDown or one of those as someone in his crew, like come out in a
this
suit?
was a while ago, man. It was like earning your stripes and what have you and stuff. I don't know if I'd ever go back to dust off the old hot dog suit and go back to doing that. But it was a while ago and everything like that. And of course, when you're coming up in pro wrestling, if you'd ever say no to an opportunity. So if there's a chance to be in front of a live audience and try and bring value to the show in any way that you can, hey man, if that means putting on a hot dog suit or going out and having a 5-star match, you do what you got to do, man. So
Speaking of dancing, wasn't Disco Inferno at Reality Wrestling?
Yes, he was. Disco Inferno, one of my favorites from the WCW area. Of course, the number one is Booker T. Shout out to the 2-time Hall of Famer. Congrats, him and Stevie Ray. But yeah, man, Disco Inferno was one of my favorites, man. And he was in the last 20-man battle royal that we had, and I don't know if he's actually going to be at this event, but I do know who's going to be at this event, and that's WWE NXT superstar Cassius Ohno.
That's cool.
For the hardcore wrestling fans, he used to wrestle as Chris Hero, but this guy is probably one of the most athletic wrestlers I've ever seen in the wrestling business for sure. And he's hard hitting. I mean, he's got his roaring elbow. When he spins and just hits that elbow like it's game over with.
Right.
You know what I mean? And for him to mix it up with reality wrestling stars and things like that, it's just things to look forward to. Reality wrestling, we get bigger and bigger every year. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds cliche, but it's just honest, man. So, and it starts with shows like this and keeps just getting better and better each and every time. So, very much looking forward to that.
All right, so we got 13 seconds. We're going to switch it to the FM. If you're watching on Facebook, stay tuned. Feel free to share this video out. If you have any questions, maybe you want to see Curt in the hot dog suit in the ring, we could maybe make that happen.
Can we put you in a hot dog suit and you get choked out? I think that'd be great.
Here we go. Good morning. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
And we have a special guest in studio. We have Mr. Ryan Davidson from Reality of Wrestling. Sir, how you doing today?
Man, I'm awesome, man. I'm blessed and better, man. So thanks for having me on the show, guys. I appreciate it.
So you currently are on the Reality of Wrestling roster.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you actually train, the next generation as well. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm one of the head trainers there at Reality Wrestling. It's just me, obviously. It's Latin Heartthrob Gino and, of course, Dynamite Double JJ Blake. That's a trainer as well. And, we have a lot of other... Hey, man, what's wrong with JJ, man? He's good.
JJ's a good guy.
Yeah. Well,
wow.
I don't talk as fast as JJ does, but he's interesting to say the least. He's a good buddy of mine, heck of a wrestler too, and yeah, man. So I definitely helped train a lot of the younger talent, the stars of tomorrow, so to speak, and man, it's awesome, man. It's awesome to see men and women just grow and progress, man. So it's definitely something that I really appreciate doing.
What's your background? When did you first get into professional wrestling? And I guess how'd you get launched into this journey?
Man, started from the bottom, now we're here. I mean, those lyrics couldn't have been any truer to me when it comes to pro wrestling. So I played college football for West Texas A&M.
Cool.
It's a small 4-year university right outside Amarillo. It's in Canyon, Texas. Significance of that is that Dusty Rhodes, Tully Blanchard, Ted DiBiase, Bruiser Brody, Stan Hansen, and I think I'm missing somebody else. All played football, all played sports at WT.
Wow.
Oh, and Terry Funk, obviously, Terry and Dory Funk. They all played sports there. I didn't know this until I actually went to the college, which is very interesting, but I played football there. Once football was through, I knew a guy in my public speaking class that threw a wrestling reference at me. I threw one right back because I've always been a fan. I've always been a massive, massive fan. And long story short, he just happened to know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy that runs the wrestling organization in Amarillo. And I broke into professional wrestling in Amarillo, Texas in a wrestling ring in the middle of an outdoor go-kart track off the side of the freeway between Amarillo and Canyon, Texas. So that's where I started in professional wrestling. And to go from that to reality wrestling, going to Japan, going back to Japan later this year and what have you, it's been a heck of a journey, man. So that's kind of where I started and just moved up through the ranks over time.
So when you played college football, and you were studying at school, what was kind of your background? You mentioned public speaking, and that's important as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, obviously, talking on a microphone, talking in front of a live audience, things of that nature. Yeah, so public speaking was definitely one of the courses that I took. But I'm trying to remember. I believe my first I probably changed my major 6 times, in college, which I think that's the average thing to do.
Yeah,
hopefully. You know what I mean? But
you're an overachiever,
right?
That's
for sure.
What it is,
well, I was. I'm pretty good at math, believe it or not. I wouldn't say I'm a wizard at it, but I actually wanted to. I think I was majoring in economics, and I wanted to actually kind of get into the financial backings of different things and what have you, and try and learn business administration along the way. And then all of a sudden, it's oh, this is really boring. All right, cool. And then there's other things oh, this is really hard. Okay, cool. And then it's just changing major, changing major, and everything like that. But yeah, man, after all that was said and done and what have you, man, I just got into professional wrestling and I haven't looked back since.
So we've also talked to Will All Day.
Who?
Will All Day?
Will
He said, who's that?
Oh, a guy I've beaten, in the middle of the ring, no controversy. Oh, that guy. Okay, cool.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's cool. He's gonna be a star one day.
He went to Rice. right? Like
yeah,
he played football for Rice?
No, I'm just kidding. Will Alday's a great athlete, man. He's an awesome guy. And yeah, he's Rice University. In fact, when I first met him, I told him that I lived right outside Rice University growing up, and I used to run in the stadium all the time and stuff like that. So like the first couple of months, like whenever I'd see him, I'd just throw like these little bird wings at him and just kind of like hoot at him like an owl. He probably thought I was the biggest dork ever, but I thought it was funny. So it is what it is. But yeah, a really, really smart guy, man. Rice, that's Ivy League right there.
Why is it football? How does that
Translate
to
over?
Wrestler? Like being a wrestler.
Well, so I mean, I've dabbled in a lot of things. My actual first like I guess organized competitive sport I've ever been in was actually swimming. To be honest with you, yeah, I was a very, very good swimmer, believe it or not. And then just from swimming, it just led to, as a kid, you want to try all kinds of different sports, and football just seemed to stick. And I wasn't really half bad at it, I was ended up getting a partial scholarship to WT and everything like that. And going from football to wrestling, man, once again, I've always been a fan. I've been a fan ever since I was, probably about 13, 14 years old. And it just blossomed from there. My original plan was that, okay, I'm going to go play in the NFL, and then after the NFL, I'm going to go be a pro wrestler and just do that. Well, NFL didn't come knocking, obviously, and then everything like that. So I was like, well, let me just try pro wrestling when this happens, and that's how I pursued it, man. I always knew it was going to be in the back of my mind for sure once football was out of the way, and I pretty much reached the peak that I could in professional football, then yeah. Go out to pro wrestling.
We have a question. This is from Anthony Macaluso. He said, morning, guys.
Sweet last name.
Is the Bear wrestling on Saturday?
Absolutely. The Texas heavyweight champion. There's a lot of people that claim they're the champion of Texas and what have you. Really grinds my gears. I'm the Texas heavyweight champion for reality wrestling. I will be
heavyweight.
That's right.
No, it's not medium weight. It's heavyweight.
That's right. But I'm dropping a little weight, though. I just started CrossFit like 2 months ago.
How's that going?
Fantastic. Shout out to Get Some 365 Gym in Bay Cliff, Texas. They like to kill me every morning at 6 a.m. So it's a lot.
Do you live close to that area?
Yeah, so I live actually in League City,
cool.
To be honest with you. Yeah, so it wasn't far for me to get to this station at all. But yes, I will be wrestling this Saturday against Moonshine Mantell, Texas Heavyweight Championship, No Limits pay-per-view reality wrestling.
So here's another question. Somebody, and this is from our friend Amanda. She said, "Do y'all ever use like ring girls or card girls?" She does that kind of stuff, and I told her, I'll ask, but I think she could pursue a career in wrestling. Yeah. And she would train with you at Reality of Wrestling.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, me personally, I don't think there's not a man, woman alive that couldn't be a pro wrestler if they really wanted it to be that way. If they had the passion, they had the work ethic to go ahead and back that up, and what have you. So, because I can't say no to anyone trying to chase a dream and try to do anything. So if she thinks she has what it takes, she can come on down to Reality Wrestling, and we'll make her a great star. Let alone the fact ring girls and valets, hey man, they're always needed in pro wrestling, and let alone entertainment doesn't matter. So yeah, she's on the right track for sure.
Kurt, do you think she could be a wrestler?
I mean, if I could be one, anyone could be one, right? The mechanic.
Yeah, man. It's time to tune up the business. Yeah.
Do you have to be in shape though to be a wrestler?
Do you have to be in shape?
I am a shape. I am round.
Right. Well, I can tell you this. You could definitely give it your best shot without being in shape, but you'll find out very quickly that, yeah, man, there's not a treadmill or elliptical machine alive that can pretty much cater to what you do inside a pro wrestling ring, for sure.
So the last time I was at Reality of Wrestling, no, it was a couple times ago, I went back into the back, where you guys train and everything.
Yeah.
And Kevin was like checking out some of the stuff on the back rings over there.
Right.
And I go, wait, that's not like rubber that you guys are landing on?
Oh no, man.
No, it's actually wood. Like you're being slammed into wood.
Yeah, man.
I thought it was just like padding, like it was like a nice little like rubber thing.
I'll be honest with you, man. That's the two questions I always get asked from total strangers on being a pro wrestler is, number one, is it fake? And number two, how did you get into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I can tell you on the fake aspect, there's nothing fake about getting bruised up, getting slammed on the mat, getting thrown around, things of that nature. Everybody kind of knows wrestling business for what it is. It's predetermined. It's entertainment. It's something that we go out and try and deliver the best sports entertainment that we can to the fans that pay their hard-earned money to come see us. But I can tell you this right now, when it comes to a wrestling ring, it's not a playground. And when we tell anybody right off the bat, especially as a trainer, it's like, it's not a playground. Like, these ropes, they hurt, and they're unforgiving. Like, they don't care about you. You know what I mean? This mat, doesn't care about you. It's literally just long 2x4s with a pretty much a foam, maybe a foam, I guess you will, if you want to call it cushion, I wouldn't even call it that. It's like more like a tumbling mat, and it's maybe about an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter thick, and then you just have a canvas over it, and that's it. I mean, that's all you got. And underneath that wood is just steel beams with no give. There's back in the day there used to be like maybe a spring. There's no spring under our ring or anything like that. So when you're getting slammed, when you're getting thrown around, it is maybe not the best thing for your physical health, for sure.
So we went to a match maybe like 2 times ago, and it was a tag team title match, and it was one of the most entertaining matches. I think it was a ladder. It was a table ladder.
Oh, the TLC match.
Where they were breaking the tables.
Dude, that was
man.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything. I was on my feet the whole time because I'm like, what is happening?
Is it two fly? Are they were?
No, so it's Fly Def.
Fly Def.
Fly Def, La Familia, and I believe it was Legion. Some of the members of Legion that were actually in that match. I'm trying to remember the only.
Well,
two.
who's with the new Texas Pro Wrestling? The guy who had his man bun cut off by Chevy.
Oh wait, no, the Cool.
The Cool.
Yes,
that's
the
what
cool.
it is.
Cool. Yeah, Cam Cole and Bartek. Yeah,
that's right.
Man. That's who it was. Sorry. When as many matches as I do, it's kind of hard to remember certain things and what have you.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I do remember for a fact, like Fly Def and La Familia, they were doing just some crazy things in that match. I do remember Cam Cole actually going through a table, which
that was nuts.
I can tell you this right now, going through tables is not fun. But I mean, they're all great athletes, all great wrestlers, man, and it makes me glad to hear that they put on that type of match, and you guys were just horribly impressed, because that's what we try and do each and every time at Reality Wrestling. Like, if anybody comes to a Reality Wrestling show, we're going to try and give you the absolute best entertainment that you've seen, especially live entertainment.
Well, except for when JJ Blake's in the ring.
Man,
what?
I think you might. Do you like JJ Blake?
I think he does.
Yeah.
He has a story, and I know you want to share it, so go ahead and share what
please
happened.
do. I'm interested.
JJ Blake is the worst.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I love JJ.
Right out the gate. Right out the gate.
So JJ Blake was our very first wrestler that we ever had on, and he's been on here a couple times, right?
Okay.
Very first wrestler. We've never been to Reality of Wrestling before in our lives. We're super excited.
Okay.
They're like, hey, come on out. You're get VIP treatment. You and Gardy, come out and see what's going on. We brought Pastor Josh with us, right?
Right.
So, great night, fun entertainment. JJ Blake's wrestling, right? Mm-hmm. JJ Blake comes out, and everyone starts booing him.
Except for us, because we didn't know.
We didn't know.
He had already been in studio, and he was like so nice, and we're like, we're best friends with this guy. This is great. Let's go watch him wrestle.
I'm cheering along JJ Blake. I get slapped in the back of the head by Will Alday's mom, and she says,
shout out to Miss Alday.
she goes, stop booing my son. Like, literally, backhanded me. Like, not even
with their sign.
With their sign, whacked me across the... There was almost a wrestling match inside of the wrestling arena with Will Alday's mom. Anyways,
that's awesome.
JJ Blake wins. Awesome. JJ Blake wins, which I know he would. That's why I was cheering for him, right?
He was the champion of all television for a long time.
So I walk over, and I have my hand up to get a high five. I figured, he and I are best pals, right? Have my hand up. He looks right at me and then keeps walking.
Yep, that's about right. He does the same thing to me, too, and I'm good friends with him, so it's fine.
And the little kid beside me goes, that's what you get for rooting for JJ Blake.
Probably 8 years old. An 8-year-old kid just comes up to him.
It was great. It was the best experience ever.
Oh man!
But that's why I hate JJ Blake.
So he didn't give you a high five, and that's why you hate JJ. And you got paintbrushed by Will Alday's mom.
I want to take JJ Blake on in the arena. He was talking mess the last time he was on here.
Yeah,
when we were live.
That's what he does.
When we were live at Reality of Wrestling.
He's good at it, too.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys had time for your radio show and it didn't go overboard or anything, because he still would have been talking.
He's still here.
We had to stop him.
Yeah. Oh man.
JJ, we're done.
Yeah. JJ stopped the lights go off and he's still talking. Yeah.
No one's tagged him yet, so I'm good, because he's probably gonna show up pounding on the windows Curt!
Hey, y'all talking about me? Hold up, let me come in there real quick.
I wouldn't be surprised he pops up outside the window.
Have I told you that I am the champion of all television?
Yeah, all television. That was JJ Blake, man. Never a dull moment with JJ, for sure, man. So that's funny. I didn't know about the Will Alday mom situation. So when I beat her son in the middle of the ring, I wonder how she felt about that. I don't know. That's
he has a strong support from his family.
He does. I can tell you this right now, man. I didn't really have I have a great family and things are good, but they weren't always as good. I'm very, very distant and stuff like that. I kind of grew up without my dad really being in my life for a long period of time, and it was really, really tough. And I've always admired people that was really close to their families and go out and support each other and what have you. And I can tell you, Will Alday's family is really cool. When I can look and see some of the boys and men and women that they bring their families out, they come out and support them. I'm like, man, that is really, really cool, man. So I can't knock that at all. I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, I think I saw his brother outside of the ring cheering, and I think he was more hyped than Will was.
Yeah.
And I was impressed. And I know one of his brothers, if he has more than one, plays professional baseball.
Yeah, he plays baseball. I'm trying to remember exactly what team, because I know he was playing for the San Antonio minor league team for a minute, and then I think he got moved to another team and everything. But I know, once again, that family, they definitely support each other. They love each other, and that's a beautiful thing, man. So it's cool.
For you, going to Japan, wrestling in other promotions in Texas and all across the country, how do you make those connections?
Well, I think it just comes down to treating people the way that you want to be treated. Always being a professional, even when you feel like no one's watching. You always be, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I can tell you that a lot of people ask me how I got to Japan and everything like that, and they, especially wrestlers, are like, oh, who'd you contact, this, that, whatever. I was like, well, maybe you wrestle really hard for 14 years and you watch a lot of people get opportunities before you that you've helped develop. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy for anybody that gets an opportunity, but every now and then it might get under your skin a little bit that you're talented, you have something to offer, and it just hasn't happened yet for you. And then once you go through all of that, and you treat people with respect and kindness every single day, then maybe, just maybe, you'll have a organization from the other side of the planet recognize your skill and your talent and go, hey, why don't you come over here and see what you got? And I go, okay. And then it's one thing to go there. It's another thing to be asked back and to be a continuing talent for their roster. And I'm very happy to go back later this year. So I made a very good impression in Japan. And every other organization I've wrestled in across the country, and of course for Reality Wrestling. As long as I can provide value, that's really what I'm all about. So,
cool. And there's an event taking place this weekend, correct?
Yeah, of course.
Reality Wrestling.
That's
Can you
why
tell
I'm
us a little
here,
bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So Reality Wrestling No Limits pay-per-view event that's going on, of course, this Saturday, the World Gym Arena. Of course, Booker T's name's on the side of the building. You can't miss it, you know what I mean? And we have a big 20-man rumble that's going to be happening for the Reality Wrestling Championship. There's a lot of titles that are going to be on the line. And, of course, one of the marquee matches is myself, Ruthless Ryan Davidson, versus Moonshine Mantell for the Texas Heavyweight Championship. And, Moonshine's a brand new talent that's brought to Reality Wrestling, and he's made a name for himself, not only just around Texas, but all over the country. He's been to Japan like I have, and he is an amazing talent. It's just, unfortunately, it's an amazing talent that's going to get his face beaten in on Saturday. And it's one of those things, because here's the thing, and I can kind of give you a little preview of what's going to happen. In Reality Wrestling, we got a lot of high flyers, got a lot of great athletes, got a lot of great wrestlers. I am the big fight feel of Reality Wrestling. So with that being said, me and Moonshine are not going to be going for hammerlocks or headlocks or doing roll-throughs or rolls or nip-ups or anything like that. It's just going to be a fight. And I'm very much looking forward to it. It's something that I do extremely well, and it's going to be at the expense of Moonshine Mantell as I retain the Texas Heavyweight Championship after this Saturday. So if anybody's got some free time and they want to be entertained by some of the best live entertainment in this country, you just need to go to realitywrestling.com, go ahead and purchase some tickets, or just come on down to the World Gym Arena in Texas City and come see the best entertainment money can buy, Reality Wrestling.
Here's a couple comments that I'm noticing on our Facebook stream. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Miranda mentioned, training the kids. And then Willie McMichael also said, Ryan trained my daughter on several occasions. She's been going for the past 3 years, and she's 10 years old. She dreams of being a wrestler one day. So y'all work with kids as well.
Oh, absolutely. This is the brainchild of one Miss Queen Charmel. She wanted to do something to kind of give back to the community, kind of give back to the kids. And she came up with the Reality Wrestling Kids Camp, or Road Junior. And basically it'd be a week-long camp to not only train young kids and to, to fly around the ring and everything like that, but also teach him lessons about, teamwork and, no bullying and everybody, friendly competition, you know what I mean? And, go out and really try your best. And it's something that I feel like has been a huge success, because I'll be honest with you, the first one we did, we were, it was a lot of things that we had some great ideas and what have you, but we were just saying, oh man, can we do another one? Could we do another one? I think there's been 10 kids camps that's happened already.
Wow.
And I already know the girl that you're talking about, this Miss Envy and everything. So she is a sweetheart. She tries really hard. She's got an attitude that I absolutely love for pro wrestling. I think it's fantastic. And there's a bunch of other kids too. It's just not Envy. There's been a bunch of other kids that have came through these kid camps that we put on, and I think they do those every other month or every couple of months and what have you. But if anybody wants to bring their kid down and try and be trained by some of the absolute best reality wrestling has to offer, man, that's a lot of fun, and we love doing it. So
right now it's 9:27. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11 a.m. We're talking to Ruthless Ryan Davidson right now, the Bear. I want to hear a little bit about the name. Did it start from the beginning? You're out there wrestling by the interstate, the highway.
Pretty
Have you
much,
always
yeah.
been the Bear?
No, so
He's crawling through the forest.
Yeah, crawling through the forest. I just find a wrestling ring. I spit my salmon out and go, wrestling. No, yeah. So basically, I had a very interesting name. When you come up through pro wrestling, you kind of go, depending on the type of career you have, you kind of go through different names and what have you. Like, for instance,
The Mechanic.
Yeah, the mechanic. The
Don't steal it.
This, that, whatever. Right.
I want to do a promo for you where that's what you do. You come home, you all greased up in an auto mechanic jersey.
The TV dinner,
the TV dinner. You open it up.
Man.
You sit there, crack open a Coke, and you sit in your chair watching the TV, the box TV.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds awful. But going back to my name, when I got through playing college football, I was known as the Big Extreme.
Ooh.
Yeah. The worst name ever in professional wrestling ever. So, how I came up with that name, I don't know. I just thought it was really, really cool. So I went by the Big Extreme, and it probably lasted literally not one but 2 cups of coffee. And when I started wrestling, I started off wrestling in Texas, and then I moved to Oklahoma because a buddy of mine, his dad was the head trainer for the wrestling organization in Oklahoma at the time called Mid-South Wrestling. And pretty much when I started wrestling there, the promoter came up to me and, I had a license and everything. They were all like, well, what's your name? We're going to put you on the match day. What's your name? And I'm like, I didn't want to tell him the Big Extreme.
Yeah.
Because he probably would have gave me the up and down look and just walked away.
Next.
So I was like, well, my name's Ryan. He was like, all right, well, what's your last name? And I told him my real last name, and he goes, well, that's not a wrestling name. Hold on, we got to come up with a name. So basically, it started with just him and I having a conversation, and the next thing you know, the entire locker room is circled around us trying to come up with a name. And then, lo and behold, there was this really jacked up ex-military guy that had on this Harley Davidson tank top, and this guy that was one of the trainers at the time just goes, hey, Davidson, Ryan Davidson, that's a good name. All right, that's your name. I'm tired of talking about it. And the guy walks off. So I go, okay, cool. Or Ryan Davidson it is. Right on. And that was my name. As going up through the ranks and everything across the country around heavy, I developed the Monarch that was given to me by my peers as Ruthless, because I have a very aggressive style. I have a very aggressive ground and pound style when it comes inside the wrestling ring, because that's kind of my nature. So I was named Ruthless Ryan Davidson. Now, as far as the bear goes, as a kid, the bears have always been my favorite animal. I've always been drawn to just strong, big, powerful entities, animals, things of that nature. And the bear is just what's always sticked. I mean, it's weird, going back through childhood stuff. I always had bear t-shirts. When I go to art class, it'd be drawing bears. It'd be this, it'd be that. And really, to be honest with you, it's kind of my mindset when I go into really anything, whether it's inside the ring or just life. I want to attack things like how a grizzly bear would. Be fierce, be powerful, be aggressive. And I feel like it was a natural fit to just kind of gel that into my professional wrestling demeanor. And that's why I'm the Bear from Bel Air. Shout out to Bel Air, Texas. Represent.
By Rice. Makes sense.
By Rice.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Well, I'm tired of talking about it all day. We don't need to talk about him. Forget that guy. He's had his time. It's my time now.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Earlier, you mentioned something. You mentioned something about Well, you're a trainer. You're a trainer at Reality of
Yes.
Wrestling, and so you said you'd been wrestling for 14 years.
Yeah.
And there's people that you helped develop that you have seen, get chances or maybe move into different opportunities.
Right. Yeah.
And while you're, sitting there waiting for your time, putting in the right work, keeping the right attitude.
Right.
Can you share more about that? Because that can't be easy.
Yeah, it's not, But, I mean, the thing is though, I've always been a guy, and, once again, I've had a lot of challenges in my life and growing up and stuff like that. And my family, they're loving, supporting, but, some family members haven't always been there. So I've kind of had a lot of challenges growing up as a kid. So with that being said, I've always developed the attitude of treat people the way that you want to be treated. You know what I mean? And I like being treated very well. So
Right.
with that being said, it's only right to just do the same thing back towards others. And when it comes into pro wrestling, when I train people, I want to train people the way that I would like to be treated because I know that it could be a benefit. We all started somewhere. We all, weren't always the greatest at starting, and some things are difficult. Instead of ramming it down somebody's face, just going, come on, do this, do that, which, there's time for that. You want to try and understand who you're training. Mm-hmm. You want to try and understand their strengths and their weaknesses and work around that. And I take a lot of pride in helping people get better and having those people move on and do great things and progress, and not only just wrestle for other organizations around Texas, but around the country and around the world and be contracted. Because really, at the end of the day, it's just all about pursuing your greatest potential. You know what I mean? Like, to me, yeah, it's competition. You're always trying to go out and work harder than the next guy. But to me, the competition is me. It's you versus you. And I think everyone should just go out and just try and pursue their greatest potential, and then everything else just falls into place.
Curt, can you imagine? How would you feel? And I already know the answer. So we have interns here. We have some interns.
Right.
Can you imagine us training an intern, and then next thing you know, that intern
Is now replacing
gets a break
us?
and then replaces us or moves on, and we're like, wait,
He's not
I
working
trained
for
him.
like 93Q
Right.
or
Yeah,
something.
and it's
Right,
be like,
right,
I don't know
right.
how I would be able to handle that or how I would feel. How
I'm
would,
now angry at Ethan.
just the idea.
I want to fire him. He's not even here.
It's getting real right now. It's
Ethan,
getting
you're
real.
fired. You can't replace
Yeah,
us.
It's getting real. Well, no, I mean, but that's the thing. As a competitive athlete, it does get to you sometimes because
Right.
you believe in your skill, you believe in your talent, you know you have something to offer. When somebody else that maybe hasn't done it as long as you gets to a bigger opportunity and what have you, it does grind you a little bit, but it doesn't grind you as far as from them personally. It just only grinds with you to where, once again, what do I need to do and what am I not doing to get to that next level? What
Taking
have
it
you.
motivation.
Right, exactly. And that's the only way that I can do it, man. I'm a very positive guy. I see the positive in everything. I see light in the darkest tunnel, you know what I mean? And it's just one of those things that instead of being bitter and angry, use that towards motivation. Plus, it's a pat on your shoulder because really it's not just about them, it's you too. Like, you helped get them there, That's part of you too.
Yeah.
And back and forth. Like, for instance, me going to the gym, me eating right, me trying to put on the best matches, it's not just for me. It's for others. It's the person that I'm competing against. It's the other person I'm wrestling for. It's for the fans. It's for reality wrestling. It's for pro wrestling in general. It's never just all about you, And with that being said and having that mindset, when I develop and help develop men and women in pro wrestling, man, I'm very, very proud of it, man. And I feel like that everybody gets an opportunity. And I believe through my core that I know one day I'll be a world champion. I know it. Like, there's no one that could tell me any different. I know it. You have a future world champion in your studio.
I was going to say, every wrestler who has come in here has been on their path, will be a world champion. So the more that you come on KHEA Radio, the more opportunity you have, right?
You guys talk about Will all day, man. Forget that guy. Keep having the bear come on here, man. No, I'm just kidding.
He came like 3 times in a row. We were like,
Did he really?
Somebody. Yeah.
It's because he doesn't have a life and no friends.
I think he's
That's probably why.
Well, he's local. We didn't know you were like local.
No,
local.
I'm literally like 10 minutes down.
That's awesome.
10 minutes down the road. So, but yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I appreciate being on here, man, and having these. And if anybody knows me, I'm a chatterbox as it is. I'm not JJ Blake level, but other than that, I'm a guy that likes to conversate, man, likes to communicate. And if there's anything that I can do to like make someone's day better by something that I can say, by all means, I'm all about it. So
here's a comment, and this is from Chef Mary Bass. Good morning, Chef Mary. She's one of our good friends and partners from
Awesome.
Chef's Table Charity. She said, "Oh, it's not because he's snuggly like a bear."
I mean,
did you get that?
Ladies, I am very snuggly like a bear. I mean, there's enough honey to go around. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, no, I mean, I can, if you catch me on a good day, I can be sweet. I guess, but inside the ring, that's a completely different thing.
It's a different side of the bear.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just rawr. Yeah, exactly.
That's your bear sound.
That's my bear sound.
I'm not too.
Yeah. So
do you do that
Ric
before you
Flair
just-
has the woo. I just have the rawr.
Rawr.
Hopefully it hopefully it catches on one day. It probably won't. But hey, one can dream.
I'm
Right?
not scared, so let's go.
Rawr. It's cool.
Not yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So being a wrestler, Curt had asked earlier, you have to be, in shape. Is that important? You said yes. So how do you maintain your level, and what kind of diet and nutrition do you have to maintain?
Well, it's no secret that being a bear, I'm in a bear-like stature to where, do my abs show? No, not yet. I wouldn't call myself a #body guy. But the thing is that inside of pro wrestling, when it comes to athleticism and physical conditioning, you have to have endurance. I mean, if you squat 600, bench 500, you can run a 4.340, fantastic, man. That's awesome. But that's going to help you a little bit, but that's not going to be the main reason why you succeed. You got to have endurance. You got to go. So with me, my training has always been, I've always been a big power lifter, a big weights guy, iron, just developing what have you. And I still do in a lot of ways, but, after a while, once again, there's no conditioning like in the ring conditioning, you know what I mean, with your rolls, hitting the ropes, things of that nature. So that has to be developed. And the closest thing that I have found for myself that has pretty much been able to be as closely relatable to in-ring conditioning has been CrossFit. And I just started it a few months ago. It's been a world of a difference for me, just not only as an athlete, but in my strength and in my endurance and things of that nature. And it's worked for me. But as far as anybody that's really interested in being a professional wrestler, man, it's all about endurance, man. You got to be able to go. You got to look good because it's a cosmetically pleasing business. It's kind of weird to be wearing spandex in a room full of strangers or an arena full of strangers, but you have to. That's pretty much what pro wrestling is, based on your character, based on your look.
I hated wearing spandex when I was a wrestler.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
hated it.
What'd you hate about it?
Just
Everybody looking at you. That's like my nightmare. Just like walking into a ring without my turn to spin.
You'll never see them again. It's okay. It ain't no big deal.
Oh,
Well, I mean, you
but
might,
unless
maybe,
your
it's fine.
school is there and they're watching
Right.
all your classmates,
Oh,
are
yeah.
like, wow,
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
know he had rolls on that place.
Yeah, no, man. I mean,
That's me.
hey, it can happen. And let me tell you something. That old myth of when there's a camera on you, it adds 10 pounds. Looks like it adds 20. I can tell you that right now, especially with these HD cameras they got going on or what have you.
Wait, I don't look 20 pounds. This is how I look.
Right. Oh, man. That's how I felt a lot of times. Because once again, I've always been a big, burly guy. So it's like I sit there and I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, man, I feel like pretty good, this, that, whatever. I go and I look on camera and I go, oh, I could have tanned a little more on the shoulder. Man, my legs look a little pale. Okay.
I
all
did
right.
the exact same thing this morning. I walk in, Gardy's wearing a suit. And I walked in. I'm like, oh, I look pretty good, rocking my World Gym shirt.
Right,
I even put an
right.
extra shirt on underneath of it to add some, depth. I was feeling great,
Right. Yeah,
feeling
man.
fantastic. I walk in, Gardy's wearing a suit, and I'm like, golly, I look like trash.
Didn't get the memo, man. Come on, you're supposed to dress up for me. Jeez.
I texted him last night, but he didn't understand.
But you're on
It's fine.
camera for the Shine On. I'm behind the
It's okay.
camera.
It's okay. Yeah, but it's 9:40, right? We'll have to coordinate, tomorrow.
In the future.
This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share this video out. If you're listening over the radio, call and text a friend. Tell them to tune in, 99.5 FM, and maybe consider coming out to Reality of Wrestling this Saturday. If you go to @Reality of Wrestling on social media, you'll be able to follow all the events they have. Y'all have events pretty regularly, like at least once a month, sometimes multiple times, right?
For sure, absolutely. There's a lot of different events that we have coming up. We have some events that we're going to be doing inside the city of Houston coming up here for the summer. I mean, more details coming soon for sure. I just found out about this yesterday, and it's going to be an awesome event. A lot of different events, too. We've done a lot of events, of course, just right outside of Texas City for different rallies, different, conventions. We've done different fundraisers. I mean, we've done so much stuff. But our mainstay is at the World Gym Arena, right in Texas City at Mall of the Mainland, and we have a show second Saturday of every month. That's pretty much what we do, and it's a big show that we do for all our TV tapings for, of course, Fight TV and YouTube and things of that nature. So, yeah, man, second Saturday of every month, man. Sounds like a good day for me to come out and see the flagship of Texas wrestling. So,
yeah,
that's where everybody should be.
If somebody's never been before, what kind of production can they expect?
The absolute best wrestling production in the state of Texas, bar none. That's not me just trying to be like a company guy or anything like that, but once again, as a guy that wrestles all over the place, okay, I'll be in Tulsa, Oklahoma Friday night, and then I come right back here to Texas City to, of course, wrestle for Reality Wrestling. I do a bit of traveling. Could be this state over here, this state over there. It doesn't matter. I can tell you with all due respect to a lot of different wrestling companies, no one has the production level of Reality Wrestling. No one has the image. No one has the talent. The absolute, when we say that we're the flagship of Texas wrestling, it's the truth. As the business is a quote-unquote shoot. That's really what it is. Men and women from all over want to be on our show, okay? And not everybody gets to play ball, but, you know, hopefully if they're good enough, they can. But as far as the fan aspect goes, if I want to see the absolute best live entertainment that I can that's outside of WWE and I'm in the state of Texas, Reality Wrestling is the place to be.
All right. Hey, I saw not too long ago that Brad Gilmore, Booker T, got signed to ESPN.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. And I also have seen that they've been taking calls, and I've been wanting to call in, and I haven't yet because I'm like, what if I sound silly? You know, like I'm not used to talking on the radio. Right. Like, what am I gonna do? You know.
Wow.
But I've wanted to call in. Have you had a chance to listen to any of their programs yet?
So I've actually been on their show once, right when I got back from Japan. Book had me on, which I was very appreciative of and what have you. Him and Brad run an awesome show. Brad Gilmore does a fantastic job and everything, and Booker, you know, Booker T's Booker T, man.
Yeah.
You know, so that just kind of goes without saying. I feel like their show is fantastic. And, you know, the thing is that a lot of the insights that Booker and Brad give, you know, being a part of the Reality Wrestling gym and the staff and everything like that, you know, you get to hear a lot of this inside stuff, and it almost feels like the same thing that he tells us he says on the radio show. And I know it's authentic. I know it's real. You know, it's not a facade. Nothing's, you know, just fake or wishy-washy or anything. Like, you're getting the really true grit of their opinions on anything from entertainment to sports to life to anything. And me personally, I think it's one of the best absolute programs that, you know, you can get on radio podcasting. I mean, you know, hey man, I don't know. You had Will All Day on here 3 times. Why don't you get the Bear on here more than 3 times? Jeez.
And we gotta go.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
So, but nah, Book and Brad, man, they always do a great job, man. That goes without saying. And you know, Hall of Fame radio show, man, which I thought that was funny. I was like, oh, Hall of Fame, you just
makes sense.
Just having to do that. I was like, well, you got in the Hall of Fame again, so there's
2 times.
He's like, no, I didn't know. I promise, man. That was just happenstance. I'm like, all right, man, cool, right on. Yeah, I think he might have known.
What's it like working with Booker? Because so I used to want to fight Booker.
Why would you ever want to fight Booker?
Well, because I thought
he's massive, man.
But see, we had Rex on too.
Yeah.
And this was before the whole
Great
Booker
wrestler.
T.
Great
I think
guy.
maybe we caused the issue between Rex and Booker T. Because
we planted
I was
a
like,
seed,
Rex,
you know.
I was
Planted
like,
the seed, right?
Rex, you're so much better than anyone else at Reality of Wrestling.
Hey. First,
yeah, see, it hurts.
This is when the fight happened.
It hurts. It hurts.
Hey.
And I was like,
Rex is a great athlete. Hey, Rex, believe it or not, outside of Reality Wrestling, he was my tag team partner for a while. We were
Really?
the Untamed. Yeah, man.
That's cool.
Yeah. He got a great
never got
promo
a
where I jump out of a
chance.
tree. It's great. So, but no, Rex Andrews is a superb athlete, man. He's a great human being too. So
Booker never gave him a chance to compete for the championship. Never. Like, he would always interfere, and I said, Rex, what are you doing? If you need me to go backstage and distract Booker T so he can't send out his Goonies to protect his boy, I will.
mean-
But then I sat down with Booker T. We were actually there for his birthday party. We went live and on location.
yeah, I remember that.
And got to talk to you too.
We did.
Yep.
And he sat down next to me, and just talking to him, I'm like, dude, I don't want to fight you. You're
Nice.
a good dude.
He's
Yeah.
humble guy.
Jeez, man. I feel like your mouth is writing checks that you can't cash there, pal. You're saying, I want to fight this guy. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then you see him, you're like, oh, okay, cool. I got my eye on you, pal. I got my eye on
I
you.
called, and I was scared because he answered, and I was like, this is Curt from KHEA Radio. And he goes, I'll call you back. And I was like, okay. I'm so scared.
How long have you been with Booker?
I've been with Booker late of 2008. Before Reality Wrestling, he had an organization called PWA, and they used to run once a month out of the Pasadena Convention Center. And I could tell you, from what you see is what you get. Booker T is Booker T all the time. I can't say enough great things about him, though. Like, he's one of the most down-to-earth people I've ever met. He gives when no one else does. And I'm not just saying that because I wrestle for the guy or anything like that. It's just really honesty, man. And the wisdom this guy has, and he puts it in a way that he can pretty much relate to pretty much anyone from any demeanor and any background. So it's been a blessing, man. And it's not every day that you can actually get in there and actually conversate, learn, and gain the wisdom of a two-time Hall of Famer every single day. You know, most other, wrestling organizations or wrestling schools, most of them, not all of them, you might have a guy that maybe got a little success here, a little success there, this, that, what have you. There's not any school that I know of that you can get a two-time WWE Hall of Famer to kind of show you the ropes. And I just find that really cool. But being around Book, man, let's just say it's never a dull time because he's very interesting to be around. And he's funny, man. He's a funny guy. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah.
So we just got through WrestleMania. What were your thoughts on all that?
Besides the event being really, really long, I love the event. I thought it was fantastic. I think for Triple Threat, the three-way between Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch being the main event of WrestleMania, all ladies first ever main event of WrestleMania. I think it's fantastic. Can't go without saying with, of course, Kofi Mania running wild with Kofi Kingston beating Daniel Bryan. I love the Seth Rollins-Brock Lesnar match at the beginning. I thought that was a great way of doing it and what have you. The whole event, in my opinion, it just gelled. It was a little long. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty extensive, but
it had to go through like 3 TV dinners.
Yeah, definitely. Jeez, hey, Book used to do a TV dinner thing. I think back in the day, I think it was called Hungry Man. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
Hungry
those
Man.
are good.
The whole pound of food men love. Yeah, he used to do all that and like rip the door off at a grocery store and what have you. So I remember that. So when you say TV dinner, that's like the first thing that pops in my mind. It's a Hungry Man dinner. So
I think you need that next. Like steal it from it. Do the
I
exact
should totally.
thing.
Oh man,
Wouldn't that make him?
Let me tell you something. If I get some money from the Hungry Man TV dinners, I'll put it on my gear. I'll get it tattooed on my leg. I do not care.
You'll rip
Throw some money
open
my way.
doors at grocery
That's
stores.
Right. Give me the salmon dinner.
Let's
whatever I can.
do it at HEB and not tell them and film it
Cool.
and then see how they feel about it.
Right on. So if I get arrested and
I got you.
you got me?
I
You
got
sure?
you.
I don't believe.
I'll bail
That's
you
fine.
out. I can't help you with the court fees, but
You can't. Oh,
No.
man. See, it's you all in or none, man.
Hey,
Jeez.
for WrestleMania, was there anybody who had any Reality of Wrestling ties that was at the event?
Absolutely. So the new WWE Cruiserweight Champion Tony Nese, that's tying the Reality Wrestling, of course. Can't go without saying guys that I've personally been in the ring with and helped train with and everything like that. The Usos, WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Of course, they always win. And those two guys, man, are the most down-to-earth people on the planet, man. Like every time I go to a WWE event and I see them across the hallway after all these years, it's always a hug. Hey, brother, good to see you. This, that, whatever. And they didn't have to do that, man, because most people, when they get famous, they be, oh yeah, I kind of remember you, whatever. They never forgot, man. So it's very, very cool. And of course, Ember Moon, one of the ladies down for WWE. Of course, she was in the I believe the Women's Battle Royal there in the pre-show of WrestleMania. So Reality Wrestling ties are very, very strong within the WWE. Almost said that wrong. WWE and what have you, and then elsewhere too, man. I mean, you got AEW with Kylie Ray and everything, and of course down in NXT, you got Brendan and everything. I just know him as Big Bren. So yeah.
Hey, with Kylie Ray, is she allowed to come back and wrestle? Because I've seen some of the people that got signed to that new. It's a brand new promotion, right?
Yeah, absolutely brand new promotion, man. Spearheaded by Tony Khan, who the Khan family, they own the Jacksonville Jaguars. They actually made like their fortune from, I believe, auto parts, to be honest with you. I think
Mechanic.
they were like,
Mechanic ties.
Yeah, there you go. And their other different ventures, stuff like that. So they're billionaires. But yeah, AEW is like the new cool thing that's going on. It's the big organization that's happening. And, as a wrestling fan, I feel like it's fantastic. As a wrestler, it's just way more opportunity for men and women to just go ahead and get that opportunity to be, to wrestle in front of the largest crowds and make some money and what have you on bigger stages and what have you. And Kylie, man, she, in my opinion, and this is just me, I feel like there's not a better female talent out there. Period. Just because on the fact of just not only her work ethic, but it's smooth, man. Like everything she does is just really smooth inside the ring. And, when she came to reality wrestling, man, she was just young, just, I'm happy to be here and this, that, whatever. And, despite all her success, she hasn't changed either. She's still that down-to-earth girl from Chicago, you know what I mean, that just wants to work hard and wrestle, man. And don't get me wrong, I mean, there's a lot of other great female talents that are all around or whatever. But my opinion, if anybody was going to ask me, hey, Ryan, who's the best female wrestler you know? Kylie Ray.
You've seen her work, though.
Absolutely.
You've seen that work ethic firsthand.
Been in the ring with her, helped train with her, things of that nature, you know what I mean? Once again, it's one of those people that you get in the ring with and you help train and develop. And I'm not going to take all the credit because, the credit is obviously all on her putting in the work. And it's not just me help with her. Gina was in there with her a lot. JJ Blake was in there with her a lot, you know what I mean? And just as that's how it is, we've all had a part in her success, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. And it's really good to see, but man, I can tell you what, man, she is destined for big things. So it's really, really cool to see.
That's cool. It's 9:52. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. We're talking to the Ruthless Bear right now, drinking a bang. Hey, we like these. We like these too. Is that your favorite? Because that's the Rainbow Unicorn.
So, Rainbow Unicorn, yeah, it's pretty good. I personally am a big champagne flavor guy. I like champagne. The Bangster Berry is pretty good. I don't mind it.
You like the pina colada flavor because it's like sitting on a beach.
I just got back from a cruise, so I know all about that. Yeah, I was gone for
Did you have a good time?
week. Yeah,
I didn't tell him. I haven't told him yet.
You haven't told me yet what?
Guess what?
What?
You're going on a cruise.
Oh, am I really? That's cool.
No. We're actually giving away a cruise to one of our listeners right now. So it's our featured video on our page. Like, share, comment on that video, and you have a chance to go on a cruise through KHEA Radio and Karen and the team.
Man, that's awesome. If people out there listening, if there's a chance that you can win a free cruise, trust me, go for it. Cruises are amazing. I've been on my second one this past week, and I went to Honduras, Belize, and Cozumel, and man, it was fantastic, man.
Who'd you use? Like, what cruise line was it?
I used Royal Caribbean. My first cruise I went on was Carnival, you know what I mean? So, and Royal Caribbean was fantastic, man. A lot of the entertainment on there was great. The boats, very, very nice, very pristine. Carnival was great too. I just, once again, a cruise is a cruise, man. If there's a chance you can go, by all means. I feel like I should hop off right now and be listening so I can win the cruise. I want to go back, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, always a good time.
So we haven't been on a cruise before, but they let us on the boat, and it was a process to get approved to film.
Yeah.
So we went and filmed on the boat and did all this stuff.
Yeah,
but like, they let us eat and experience, like, and I was telling Kurt, I was like, buffet alone, like, I'm going to get my money. I'm going to end up like making money. I'm going to gain weight, but there's so much food. They have everything there. It seems like it'd be awesome.
Yeah, man, I can tell you this right now. That was like the biggest thing with me. That's like the only thing I worry about when going on a cruise. Like, all right, I'm not going to gain like hardly any weight. Like, I want to enjoy myself, but I don't want to gain all this weight and what have you. So I made a deal that like I just work out real hard. First thing in the morning.
They have a gym on there.
Oh, my God. Yeah, they do. Especially Royal Caribbean. It's massive, a massive gym. And they have everything that you could possibly think of and then some. So it's been great. But yeah, man, I mean, when you get on a cruise, man, it's just all that food and stuff that's there. It's fantastic. Especially Carnival. They have like, Guy Ferrari, Ferrari. I can't remember how to pronounce his last name, but he has like this burger thing that they just all day, burgers and fries. It's just like troughs of burgers and fries. And it's an amazing thing, man. It's like, oh, I can go eat 12 cheeseburgers? Not a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is it a thing, like you get to the gym, you're like, these weights, they only carry like 50-pound weights, you need like heavier weight?
Yeah, Carnival had that. Royal Caribbean, I can tell you they had some pretty big dumbbells, pretty big plates and stuff on there. Yeah, they did. So I was very much I guess weight appreciated for sure as far as my workout goes and everything. So I had no issues. It wasn't a problem.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what we're doing, a Royal Caribbean cruise giveaway. So like, share, comment on that video. It's pinned to the top of our Facebook page. You can be cruising actually this year. So thank you to Karen, Cruise Planners, and to Royal Caribbean for letting us make that happen. So maybe you can enter. So maybe you'll win and go again.
Yeah, I will wrestle anybody for a free cruise. I'll wrestle. Yeah, I'll wrestle. Do you know what ship it is? Do you know what the ship is? No.
We do. We'd be able to pull it up. I don't know yet.
Because I took Liberty of the Seas. That was the one I think
that's
on.
What it is.
Is it really? Great ship. If that's what it is, it's a great ship.
Well, at least sounds familiar.
Yeah. Liberty of the Seas.
The Royal Caribbean Enchantment of the Seas.
Oh, okay, cool. Gotcha. Nah, it's
Enchantment.
a lot of fun, man. It's a great ship.
Can you let us know one more time about the event this Saturday, how someone can get tickets, who you're wrestling, and why somebody should come?
Absolutely. So, live this Saturday night at the World Gym Arena, Reality Wrestling presents No Limits iPay-Per-View. We have a featured 20-man over-the-top rope rumble featuring WWE NXT star Cassius Ohno, and the 20-man rumble is that whoever wins this rumble becomes the brand new Reality Wrestling champion. All titles are going to be on the line. Of course, the title, the Texas Heavyweight Champion, myself, Ruthless Ryan Davidson, will take on Moonshine Mantell for the Texas Heavyweight Championship. And once again, you can get your tickets at realitywrestling.com. You can follow at official Reality Wrestling, of course, on social media. Why should you go to Reality Wrestling? Well, the thing is that Reality Wrestling, when it comes to sports entertainment inside the state of Texas, let alone in the country, we're one of the best that can offer. Our production's top-notch. Our talent is top-notch from all over the world. And there's not really a lot of other wrestling organizations that bring in talent like Cassius Ohno and other men and women from around the world to come and wrestle the mainstay. And it's right here in Texas City, man. I mean, this is, this is just kind of our home ground, our stomping grounds and what have you. And it's great entertainment, man. I mean, you can bring anybody. It's family friendly. There's nothing, anything. And you just see some of the, and you guys have seen it, some of the craziest live action. I mean, you never know what you're going to get. Could be ladders, could be tables, could be chairs, could be anything. I know with my match, what's going on Saturday, it's just going to be a fight. That's what it's going to be, a fight. Down and dirty. Nothing pretty about it. Just going to be a fight. Me and Moonshine are going to put on a heck of a match for everybody. But once again, man, if you like being entertained and you want to see the best entertainment, especially when it comes to professional wrestling, Reality Wrestling is the place to be.
Hey, we appreciate you making time and coming and hanging out with us today.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
We're going to take a quick break. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Coming up next, we have some Sidewalk Prophets, Prodigal on KHEA. This is Kickstart. We're going to be on until 11 a.m. Stay tuned.
Perfect. Boom. Coming up next, we're going to be talking to inspiring orphan care and Laura Butler. So stay tuned on our Facebook. We're going to switch that up at the 10 o'clock hour. Man, hey, Ryan, by the way, you're going to win tomorrow night.
What's that?
You're going to win tomorrow night.
Yes, I am.
You know why?
Why?
Every wrestler that has been on KHEA radio, the next time they wrestle, they win.
Really?
It's a streak that we have.
It's a streak that y'all have.
Please don't ruin it.
We have faith.
Okay.
You got
cool.
this.
Nah, man. I appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. Oh, goodness gracious. That was a lot of fun. Oh, man, my back is like right here.
It's probably that chair.
Doing no. It's not the chair. No, the chair's really comfortable. No, the chair's fun.
Yeah.
It's the fact of man, like I was doing, once kid do a CrossFit and they were just like, oh, these push presses, like do this, do that. They had like a lot of weight on there, man. So
yeah.
I'm just like, okay, but like backs like keep like you go and then you have to bring it through and then go back and then bring it through and then go back. And man, like I woke up this morning and of course it's like deadlift day.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I feel like somebody came and punched me just right here. Just digging in. That's what it feels like right now.
Dang.
Man.
It is not fun.
Here, if you lay on the ground, I can like step
Walk
on
on
you
his back.
So sure.
and then you know what?
I'm so sure.
Get
Only
a
if you
picture.
bring out that hot
Get a
dog suit.
picture, and then I could be like, I defeated the bear. But I'm really like just helping you out.
Hey, Kurt, hop over there and we can take a selfie. Are you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram.
We follow him. That's how we messaged him last night.
Okay. Can we come over here?
Yeah.
Kurt.
Okay. Oh, the Taco Cat.
Yeah. Boom. Gotcha.
Awesome.
We'll post a picture later. We'll tag you.
Sweet, man. Awesome. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank y'all so much for having me on. And
All right.
if y'all want to have me on again, please.
For sure we will.
Just reach out, man. I'm literally went on Waze. They were like, oh, okay, get to the radio station. 12-minute drive.
12 minutes?
12 minutes. Right there on Highway 96, man. I live in League City.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, I'm just right over there in that neighborhood.
Did you go through KHEA to get here? Or like 146 down?
No. I just, once again, 45 just straight down exit 13. That's
Boom.
What I did. So,
okay.
Wasn't,
I live off 96 too, so we're probably.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, pretty close.
Okay. Well, where? I live off West Walker Street. You know, Broadstone, Walker Commons.
Mm-mm.
It's right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I live. So you live close to 45. I live like closer to the HEB, like down there.
HEB I go to.
Okay.
Yeah. And my CrossFit gym's right there on 146, right by that Amagi Bank and what have you. And I actually have a family home that's right over there in Bay Cliff. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm all familiar with that.
Cool.
Area, so.
Cool.
All right, guys. Y'all take care. Thanks
all right, we'll
again,
see you.
Man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Not a problem. We'll go over holds next time. You know?
Kurt's like he's going like shaking his head no.
I'm trying to stay away from it. Cowering away.
Oh man, that's awesome. Hey, Facebook, let us know what you guys got going on today. Feel free to share this video out. We just talked to Ruthless Ryan Davidson. And he's going to be wrestling this Saturday. If you've ever wanted to go, watch professional wrestling, if you ever wanted to participate, they have, fantasy camps for kids. You can also go and train with him. JJ Blake, Gino, Ryan Davidson, they are some of the head trainers there, trained by Booker T, and I believe you actually get some training with Booker T, who just got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, not once, 2 times with his brother as a tag team champ. I remember being a kid, growing up, watching WCW, watching Harlem Heat, go in the ring. It was always a great time to watch wrestling. I used to play some of my wrestling video games, like on WCW, on my Nintendo 64, until my mom made me get rid of my wrestling video games because I kept trying to put my sister like in figure fours and Scorpion Deathlocks and all that. And yeah, Mom got mad, so I wasn't able to do that much anymore. But again, he said usually in the middle of the month on the second Saturdays, they usually have those reality of wrestling events. So let me know, have you ever been to one before? If you have, what did you think? Last one that me and Kurt went to, man, they opened it up ridiculously awesome. Usually, and this was actually in the Bible, I think of that story whenever Jesus turned the water into wine, and they say, hey, usually you do the best at the beginning, and then they have the trap, but y'all save the best for last. So whenever we were at that reality wrestling event, they had a tables, ladder, and chair match, and they opened it up with a bang. It was ridiculous. And then, the 2 gentlemen that won, I believe they're still the reigning tag team champs. It was a crazy show, but I remember, the Cool and La Familia. I feel like if I was to train to become a wrestler, they would definitely put me with La Familia, and I'm okay with that. They come out with the accordion and stuff. It's cool. So, what's up, Chevy? Bro, you just hopped on? Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Denise. Tracy, what's up, everybody? We appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in. We're going to be talking about an event that is coming up soon. We just talked about reality of wrestling, and we met Ryan Davidson. Wow. Y'all can't see Kurt, but there's a camera out there. I wish we had a camera out there. If we had an intern, I'd send him out there. I think they brought a shirt, and Kurt's like, that's his favorite thing to do. Just not give me stuff. Hello.
Here you go, Gardy.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Laura. How are you?
Good. Boom.
Bam.
Is this a medium? I'm just kidding. I wear a large.
No, I brought.
Thank you
I
so
brought
much.
A size for all kind of sizes.
Cool. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing
you can
great.
you can adjust
Okay,
that up.
Thank you.
It should
Can I put
stay.
this on again?
Last time. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Last time this did happen. Somebody moved the mic and that spring went bing. It's whenever we had
Oh, that's
Chris
so
in there.
funny.
It was just very funny. It was unexpected.
scary. It was like, we might not have a guest anymore. Taking them to the hospital.
What kind of shirt is this? What does it
So,
say?
It's One Less Orphan. All the proceeds that we, get to when we sell those, it goes to our adoption grant program. So I wanted to bring you guys some so y'all can wear it and kind of advertise for us a little bit too. So
Thank you so much.
oh no, thank y'all for having us again.
Can you scoot that camera back just a little bit?
This one?
Yes.
Is that good?
That's perfect.
Do y'all like my sound effect? Whoop, as I moved the camera.
And we could see you moving it too.
Yo, I like that. It looks like it's on a, what is that called? Not like a slide, but I don't know. You know how cameras will do that? They're on a thing.
Dolly?
Yeah, a dolly. It looks like it's on a dolly. So there's that. So yeah, thank you for the shirts.
Oh, you're welcome.
One less orphan. And last time you were on, we were talking about everything that you. Was there an event taking place?
Yes, we had a fun run.
Yes. How did that go?
Really good. We had about 225 runners and walkers, and it was a huge success that morning. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. All the money we raised then again goes to more adoption grants. And I sent y'all the video of us of awarding our 2019 winners, and we were able to help 4 families. So over the last 2 years, we've been able to give over $42,000 away to families who are on the road to adoption. So it's been so exciting to be able to do that.
Yeah. Typically, you mentioned it's a road to adoption. It's not necessarily like, hey, let's just get this done. It's a journey, right?
Yes, sir.
How long does it take?
So on average, it's probably about 2 years because you got to do through the home study. Our adoption took 3.5 years, just because we did international adoption, and a lot of the third world countries are just kind of behind time as far as the processes and things like that. But yeah, it takes a while. The home studies take a while for families to kind of get all that together, and then if you're doing a private adoption, you have to be matched with with a birth mother. So every story is different, but it definitely takes a lot of patience and perseverance. So.
What does the home study entail? Is that something you can do yourself, or you get an outside party to help you out?
That's a great question. So normally a social worker has to come to the house and kind of do a big check around the home, make sure it's safe, talk to the family members. Our social worker also talked with our children to make sure they were on board with the adoption as well. And, just a lot of those safety precautions, like a fire hydrant in your house. And, if you have a pool, you have a gate, just a lot of those things that they want to make sure the home is safe for a child. So,
And you're married, and you have some kids as well already, right?
Right. Yes, I've been married for almost 24 years, which is crazy to say. We've got 4 children, and I like to say one's adopted, but we've already forgot which one. So she's adjusted really well. She's been home from Haiti for 18 months, and it's been a great process. It's been a lot of learning for us as a family, but I know the Lord has just stretched us and have a deeper understanding of that unconditional love, and it's been great. So,
what kind of changes have happened, I guess, in y'all's family with her and just everything since you were here last?
Sure. Well, really, she started kindergarten, so we've been kind of helping her go through that little adjustment, but she's been doing well. She's real chatty, and it's kind of a lover of life. She's really... It's funny. I really believe the Lord just kind of protected her from a lot of stuff, and she's just transitioned well. So
cool. So we have 35 seconds, and then we're going to go on the FM as well, and we're going to keep it going. So yeah, starting kindergarten, that's awesome.
Yes,
that's actually that's a huge thing.
It is, because when she came home, she just spoke French Creole, so she had to learn English and manners and bonding and all that good stuff. So it's been quite an adjustment for her. Okay,
so here we go. We got 10 seconds. We're actually playing a spot for Abundant Life Christian School. Here, y'all hear the
information. Please call 409-935-8773.
Good morning. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
It is 10:08. We're going to be on till 11 a.m. today, and I'm excited to have our next guest in studio. Revisiting once again, can you share, the name of the organization, introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank y'all for having me. My name is Laura Butler, and I am the co-founder with my husband, Doug Butler, of a wonderful nonprofit that we started about 2 years ago called Inspiring Orphan Care. That's our tagline. Our goal is to give adoption grants to families who are on the road to adopting, and also to inspire others to help with the orphan care crisis. Not everybody is called to adopt, but we believe through Scripture we're all called to do something to help out. So we hope to inspire families to help other families afford the high cost of adoption.
Where did that passion to start this organization come from for you in your life?
Sure. So about 5 years ago, our family started praying about what was next for us, and the Lord laid it on our hearts to adopt. And so we started researching that, and in our own family, we went through a 3.5-year process of bringing home a little girl from Haiti. And during that process, we met a lot of people that said, "Oh, I would love to adopt, but," and there was always a but, and the but was about the expenses. And so I've done some fundraising through other nonprofits and over the past years, and so I thought, honey, what if we started something that we could help give grants to families who need some financial help to kind of get them over that last little section of adopting. So that's how the nonprofit started.
Okay. How much does it normally cost?
So on average, it's about $30,000 to $50,000. From a private to an international adoption, it's very, very expensive. And most people just don't have that money sitting around, but they have the heart to adopt. And so I just hated for money to be an issue for any family who wanted to extend their family through adoption. So
okay, last time you were in studio, there was an event taking place. Can you share, how that event went and what it was?
Sure. Every fall we have basically a Chalk It Up for Charities Color Fun Run. It's in Deer Park, and we have about 225 runners, walkers the last year. and raised lots of money to be able to give these adoption grants. It was a huge success. It's lots of fun to throw the chalk on everybody, and also just to see families come together to help other families come together. So,
and there's an event that's coming up. And can you share what that is?
Yes, I would love to. Thank you. On April 27th from 1 to 4, we are having a bowling tournament, and we're going to call it Bowling for Orphans, and it's going to be at Armadillo Lanes in Pasadena, Texas, and we are so looking forward to it. It's also an 80s theme, and so everyone come dressed up in their 80s outfits, and there'll be a prize for the best dress.
Are you dressing up, and what are you going to be?
Oh, yeah. I just ordered my stuff last night on Amazon, and I got my scrunchies and my leg warm-up. So, I'm trying to get my husband. He's going to get some parachute pants. So
I saw the event had a tournament associated with it. So is there a prize for being the best bowler?
There are. We have a very sweet friend, John and Ashley Barker. They are our sponsors for our prizes, and you don't want to miss out. These awards are amazing that he's put together for us. So,
all right.
Yeah.
How many places are there going to be? Like the 1, 2, 3?
No, sure. It's first and second, third, and then we also have a prize for the biggest loser. So.
Oh my goodness! So you can still win.
You can still win.
That's amazing.
I know.
Are you going to be bowling yourself?
Of course.
Are you a good bowler?
Hey, I like to just to get to 100. If I can break 100, I'm super excited about it.
So you'd be battling for the
the biggest loser. Yeah. So we have some friends who are real serious bowlers, and I didn't realize this, but when you're really serious about bowling, you really only bowl one time. I didn't know. I thought everybody just had 2 tries, but apparently, when you're really good, you just go once.
Oh, because you get this.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
You know, as the organizer and the of the event, you can make the rules where only you get the bumpers.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's your special lane.
Like, just put a special.
Don't tell anybody. Well, I'll do that then. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm really excited about it. So.
Yeah, a lot of people like bowling. You know, it's something fun that is good for the family and everybody to do.
Exactly, and I love whenever kids can get involved with helping help kids have a family, and it's just such a fun time together. So.
Does your husband? Is he pretty good at bowling?
He's better than I am. Even though this last time we went bowling, I started winning, and he all of a sudden, his shoulder hurt. So you know how that goes. But no, he's really good at it, and but he's good at all the.
I'm a pretty decent
You
bowler.
are?
I'm a pretty decent. I went to
what's your
state
score?
like 6 years when I was
stop.
young. I'm dead serious.
He's pretty
From
good
when
at
I was-
everything. If you ask him.
From when I was in first grade till I was in 6th grade, I went every year. And but I had my last name is Casper, and so I was a good bowler at my home bowling alley. But then when you have to go to another bowling alley and you get stuck next to the mirror, and all of a sudden you're like bowling, you're like, oh, I look good. Then you bowl bad, and so I never did well at state. Except for the year that they had it at the Lexington Bowling Alley.
I'm just confused because, like, you say 1st through 6th grade you went through state. Like, you went to state in bowl. So, like, in your school they had bowling competitions?
It wasn't from my school. I was in a private bowling league.
Oh, okay.
That was our Saturday morning. We would go. You would bowl at 9 o'clock. You would get your little nacho cheese, nachos.
Breakfast, of course.
Go bowling, and then you'd be done to watch the football games on the TV. It was great. That was my Saturdays every Saturday.
Sounds like a good routine. It's fun as a kid.
I used to have trophies because our team would always win. I remember actually we won one year, and I was like trash talking the other team and be like, "Oh, we beat you!" And I look back, and they were like 2nd grade girls that I was like in 4th grade.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like trash talking these 2nd grade girls because they went on to be my friends in high school, and they're like, "You remember when you were so mean to me when I was in 2nd grade?" And I was like, "Wow."
Do you think there are going to be people as competitive and
there might be.
ridiculous as Kurt at the event?
There might be. Yes, I do have some pretty competitive friends, and
wow. If someone gets too competitive like Kurt, are you going to kick him out and be like, you know what, we've lost track of what the cause is. You're out.
Hey, as long as he's in his 80s outfit, he's good to go. So maybe he can come as what? What do you think you want to dress as?
If you came
Ron
in at
Burgundy.
Okay, there you go. There was no question. No question.
I am Ron Burgundy.
I love
There you go. I'm a big fan of Back to the Future, so maybe I'd do like Marty McFly type thing.
Perfect.
Oh, you would be good.
I'd roll up in a DeLorean. I don't have one. I'll just buy one for it'd be an excuse. It's part of my costume, right?
Yes.
Just need a DeLorean. That'd be fun.
So could you pull up in a DeLorean?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Like through the front door of the bowling alley?
Wow. So it's in Pasadena, the event is.
It is.
Okay, and what's the name of the bowling alley again?
So Armadillo Lanes in Pasadena, Texas.
I like the name of that.
Armadillo.
Is it like I'm picturing it in my head, and
Preston.
it probably doesn't look anything like that, but it's very
Sure.
Texas.
Yes, very Texas for sure.
So this is how good of a bowler I am. I know that there's Armadillo Lanes 1 and Armadillo Lanes 2.
Can you say armadillo one more time for me?
Armadillo.
Okay.
There's two of them. There's one on the north side of 45 and there's one on the south side of 45.
Okay, cool.
That's how good of a bowler I am.
So
There you
good.
go. Yeah, it's 10:16 a.m. This is KHEA.com, 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11. Right now, we're learning about an event that's going to be taking place. You have the opportunity to take your family and participate, and it goes towards a great cause.
Yes, sir.
And what's that cause? One more time.
To give adoption grants to families who are on the road to adopt. So.
What other events are y'all scheduled to have this
Yeah,
year?
thank you. I was just telling Kurt outside that we just found out this week that we were chosen by Macy's Baybrook to be one of the the beneficiary of their 2019 Extra Change Roundup campaign. So from May 1st to May 15th, all the customers that shop at Macy's will have the opportunity to round up to their nearest dollar. And all the money that they raise during those 2 weeks will be sent to us.
Okay, so if someone has a total and it's like $22.11, the rest of the change, they would be like, hey, you want to spend $23, and it goes towards.
Yes.
Y'all, that's
Yes,
amazing.
I know. We were
I get
very
asked that all the time, and I never know the organization. And so I'm like, it's like Ronald McDonald or something like that. I don't want to give to McDonald's.
Why not? No, it's
Well,
not
it's
towards
not-
that.
It's the Ronald McDonald House, silly.
Oh.
But this will actually be on the keypad whenever you're checking out. It'll say Inspiring Orphan Care, so it'll be able to let people know where the money is going
I
towards.
think there's no confusion. So Inspiring Orphan Care.
hope so.
But whenever Kurt he sees McDonald's, he's like, no, I was just at McDonald's. I gave him my $1.08 when I bought a $1 burger, right? So it would make more sense. What is the Ronald McDonald House? Because that goes towards kids as well, right?
Yeah, from what I understand, it's a place where families who have children in the hospital can stay where they're closer to their children and not have to go all the way home for treatments.
I did know that. I was making a bad joke.
And you still chose not to give the kids the money.
Well, now that I know that it's Inspiring Orphan, I'm going to be going to Macy's every day. We
I
actually.
know. It's exciting.
What's the
I still
dates?
smell like the Macy's cologne from yesterday that I put on.
Yeah.
The dates are May 1st through May 15th.
Okay. It's coming up.
Did you create a Facebook event for that?
No, I haven't yet, but that's a great thing because I just found out that we were chosen for that.
When you have events, and this goes for anybody who's watching or listening right now on 99.5 FM or on our Facebook page. If you have an event, if you are an organization that you're promoting something or want something promoted, go ahead and make KHEA Radio the co-host. And what that does is it puts us in our community calendar that we have, and then it also gets shared to our audience instantly. So that's a benefit for
thank
these
you.
organizations. So make sure that you do that.
Thank
Ooh,
you.
I see a comment on here, and it's from the Inspiring Orphan Care Facebook page, and it says Reel In for Orphans on June 1st. What is that?
Fishing?
Yeah, that's my next thing I wanted to share. Thanks, honey. So we have a fishing tournament coming up on June 1st. It's a Galveston Bay tournament, and we are so excited about that as well. We did it last year and had such a huge success, and we'll have prizes for big trout, big ugly, big flounder. So that's always kind of fun as well. And then we'll bring everybody back and do a weigh-in and feed my fishermen, fisher ladies, and kind of just celebrate together that afternoon. So
Awesome.
we have our captain's meeting coming up on May 30th. It'll be at Fuzzy's Tacos in Lake City, and they can definitely check out our Facebook page for more of that information.
We
too.
follow Fuzzy's Tacos on Instagram. I always comment on their photos from KHEA like, this looks good, because it does.
We've never been, though.
I've never been.
It's
Where is it?
Right next to Pomodoros.
Yeah, Curt is the manager there. Shout out to Curt. He's so generous to us. And another Curt, he actually his sister is adopted too, and so it's been kind of sweet to have that partnership for our fishing tournament too. So.
Man, I feel like our Curt here wouldn't want to work with Curt over there because he's like, no, there's only one Curt, and it's me.
Yeah, we're not doing anything with fuzzies anymore. So sorry.
Just kidding.
Is he spelled with a K or a C?
I think a K.
Okay,
then,
good.
Okay.
So
yeah,
you're
then
good?
We're good.
Okay.
It's right there. We passed it on the way when we go to Sloppy Nick's and Pomodoro's and Cupcake Cache over there.
That
Okay.
Smoothie King, I think, is in the corner there.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
one.
right there on South Shore.
Okay.
They've got good chips and queso.
They have good queso?
Uh-huh.
Curt likes queso.
Build your own tacos.
I love queso. Have you joined our Taco group?
No.
You got to.
It's very important.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I will definitely make that a priority. So I love some tacos. I actually just bought a shirt that said something about Texas, Jesus, and tacos. So
Oh, that's cool. Where'd you get that shirt?
In Canton. Have you ever been to Canton? It's
No.
one of my favorite places. It's outside of Dallas. It's the first first Monday trade days. It's once a month. It's a huge shopping extravaganza.
That's cool. And they have a bunch of like vendors out there.
Yeah,
Is it type of thing?
you can get fun T-shirts, furniture, the kind of the latest and greatest trendy stuff. So it was a cute shirt I picked up. So
I was like, I've heard of Canton before, but I've heard
The
of
Hall of Fame, right?
The
I know,
Canton,
not Canton,
Ohio.
Ohio.
And I was like, oh yeah, I've heard. Oh, gotcha.
well, if you have any women in your life, you would really hit it big if you
The
take
other
her on a little
Canton.
road trip to the other Canton. So.
And I guess if there's a guy in your life too, he'd probably enjoy going to the other
Well,
Canton.
hey, yeah, well, my husband actually likes to go shopping with us in Canton, so
Yeah.
it's fun to walk around and see all the neat things.
What is it? Like it's just trade stuff? Like
Oh my gosh, it's like you walk in and you smell the food. That's just amazing, and all the shopping. And we go for 3 days, and you still don't see everything. So, just lots of vendors, lots of antiques. If you're into antiques, you can find anything there. So.
Interesting.
awesome.
Well, we like local vendors. We go to events that they have, little markets and stuff
Yeah.
here, but not anything on that scale. Because
Sure.
we are able to see usually everything and eat
Sure.
all the food.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got the best food and sweet tea and funnel cakes. They've got this fried pimento cheese sandwich that was just delicious. So, anyway.
What kind of advice would you give if somebody's listening right now and they
Sure.
have maybe been considering adoption or they're on the edge? Like, what kind of research should they do to see if it's a good fit for them to, pursue that path?
No, those are great questions. I definitely would encourage somebody to just start just Googling maybe you can either adopt through your CPS organization. Texas.gov has a great website that you can go through. Lots of private adoptions. You can definitely talk to somebody. If you know anybody who's adopted, ask them the coffee, sit down and talk with them to kind of ask all those silly questions that that aren't silly, but you just want to find out from somebody. Really just follow some blogs, read a lot. There's lots of great books out there to kind of help you kind of figure out if that's something that you want to do and to kind of just allow your family to be more educated about adoption. So
Would you be willing to, talk to somebody if they have any questions?
absolutely. I've done it before. I actually just got a message yesterday from a lady. I love to sit down with people to kind of encourage them as well, to walk them through, because I know I had a bazillion questions. And if it wasn't for people that I could reach out to, I don't know if I could have gotten through it. So absolutely. Anybody can always message me and I would take them to coffee and
Awesome.
share our knowledge. So
What's the best way to message the Inspiring Orphan Care page?
yeah, that's perfect. Or my personal page, Laura Gerald Butler. I'd love to be able to contact them.
So you mentioned two different ways. You said a private adoption, and then you said maybe through Texas.gov or CPS.
Yes.
What's the difference between those?
So Texas offers a great program called Foster to Adopt, and you just sign up through your county, and they will put you through classes and do a home study as well. There's private adoptions that are domestic, and you can sign up through agencies to be matched with a birth mother. And then there's international adoptions is what we did, and there's different countries around the world who open up to international adoptions from the U.S.
No, not that it's the most important thing, but it is a factor. Whenever it comes to cost, is there a 1, 2, 3? Like, what is the most costly? Is it just doesn't matter?
From our research, I think international is probably maybe at the top of the level, but a private infant adoption is, at least $30,000 itself. So.
And then the foster to adopt?
Yeah, it's probably less than $10,000. A lot of services are kind of covered through the government, so it's kind of helps with that. So.
Yeah, there are group homes around here. One of the programs that we were introduced to was the Birthday Joy program.
Yes. And
a lot of those kids are in the care of the government, and they were removed from their homes, or it was a better opportunity for whatever reason, different reasons, for them to be in these houses. And you don't really realize that we have kids locally that could probably be adopted too, but it's a real thing, and I guess we love having you on and talking to these other programs because it's an awareness thing that people, we're fortunate. I wasn't adopted, I had both my parents. Kurt, wasn't adopted, and you just don't realize that this is real, for it's a reality for a lot of kids.
Yeah, DePelchin has a great program where you can kind of adopt one of the children for kind of like a temporary adoption, if you will, to maybe to bring them around for every couple weeks, kind of every other weekend, kind of holidays, maybe the summer, just to kind of help give them some extra loving too. So there's so many things that people can do. Also, you can do respite care for foster families. So maybe you don't know if you're ready to adopt that, but maybe you can sign up to give respite care to families who are going through that process. There's a lot of opportunities for people to kind of help, like you said, locally to really get involved with.
What is respite care? Because I'm not sure.
Okay, sure. It's basically just giving families a night off to go to dinner, maybe go on a date with their husband and wife, and somebody else will come in and watch the children for you. It's very important, even if you're taking care of I'm a nurse as well, and so it's important for us to take care of our caregivers. And so respite care just gives our caregivers kind of the day off to where they can get a little break mentally and kind of recharge. So
your background is nursing?
Yes, sir. My background is a labor and delivery nurse. I worked at Women's Hospital for many years, and then now I teach nursing students a little bit at UTMB down in Galveston, and then U of H Sugar Land has a nursing program. So I'm working part-time for those schools, and I really enjoy kind of pouring into the next generation of nurses. So.
Wow. Are you from this area?
I am. I grew up in Pasadena, Deer Park area, and then we moved to Lake City about 7 years ago. So.
What inspired you to go into that health and nursing career?
That's funny. Somebody just asked me that this week. I don't think I ever wanted to be anything else but a nurse. I never thought about accountant or a teacher. I just always loved taking care of people, and probably when I was little, I always took care of my animals and, stuffed animals, pretend like I was the nurse then. And so it was just a dream that was probably the Lord put in my heart when I was a little girl, and just I pursued it. So.
Wow.
And I love it.
I guess, and this may not correlate, but like being a nurse, being a teacher, are those all like life experiences that prepared you for this inspiring orphan care program in the foundation?
It's funny. I actually was just counseling a student this week. She was crying because nursing school is very emotional. And so we were talking about how I'm so grateful that everything that I learned in school really has helped me become a better mom, helped me be able to relate with relationships, because you learn a lot about therapeutic communication and things like that. And I do believe that everything happens for a reason. The Lord prepares you and gives you seasons to grow you. And once you are kind of aware of sick children and hurting children and people in this world that need our love and God's love, I do believe that it kind of spearheaded into wanting to adopt and extend our family and start a nonprofit to be able to give back. So
I think your husband's commenting along from the page, which is awesome, but he's throwing out some statistics and stats that are pretty staggering about orphans and children in the U.S. foster care system. Can you share, I guess like the numbers and what that looks like?
Sure. He's obviously my numbers guy, so I know that.
I can read those actually.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
He said there's 160 million orphans in the world and over 400,000 in the U.S. foster care system. And it's hard for me because you hear those numbers, that's
sure,
big.
Sure. You know what? Tony Evans one time said on the radio, he said, if there would be one family from each church in the U.S., there would never be an orphan crisis. And when you look at it that way, that's not a lot. If one family from one church would help with the foster problem, that's not a lot.
Yeah.
And so, but it is a lot. It is a lot of children that, for various reasons, their family just needs extra support. I know CPS does a really great job of helping families get back together. I brought some nursing students. Speaking of nursing, a couple years ago, my girlfriend Natalie, she started a program where we brought nursing students into the homes of CPS families who had medical fragile children. And we began just to educate those families, because a lot of times if you have CP or some type of medical condition, the families just don't know how to take care of that child. And then CPS gets called and it's this whole thing. So we really enjoyed being able to help kind of just support them and encourage them and give them some tools to be able to be more successful at parenting. So,
and the hard thing about orphans too is, once they reach a certain age, it's hard. Like, then they're stuck in the system as well. Like, people want babies, they want young kids, and then once they reach an age, they're not getting adopted, and so they stay in the system, and that's why there's so many orphans that are out there, correct?
Absolutely. It is definitely an area of ministry that needs to be stronger, is to help those children transition out of the state care into adulthood, and to be able to go in and kind of those big brother, big sister type programs, to walk beside them, to give them the life skills that they need to be able to be functional.
Yes. You mentioned ministry. You also mentioned, the church, and my question is, as Christians, is it important for us to pick up that, that cross, to pick up that responsibility?
Yes, James talks about it in his book about that's a true definition of religion, is to help the widows and the orphans. And so we've got to do better at that. We shouldn't turn a blind eye because it's sad or we don't want to think about it. The Lord has really called us to be, his hands and feet in this world, and to be able to share the love of Christ to people in need, especially children. So
it's 10:31. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. We're going to take a quick break on the FM. We're going to keep it going on the Facebook page. If you're watching, feel free to share this video out. We're trying to spread some awareness. This is Bethel, Drenched in Love on KHEAradio.com, 99.5 FM. Stay tuned. We're going to be on till 11 a.m. Figured I'd take a break because I didn't want to hear Curt crunching through the microphone.
You can hear that?
Yes, I can hear that. I mean, I can. I don't know if Facebook can, but I have you in surround sound eating. Can you tell him that we can hear him in our ears, like eating these nuts over there?
I couldn't hear it, but you should definitely share, though, at least. So
I was eating some yesterday.
Okay, I'm just
He had it in his car.
He jumped in my car and just immediately started going like hands in, and I was like, "Get out of my! These are mine. These are my poker mix."
That's what it's called on the top, a poker mix.
That's hilarious.
I don't know where we got. I think we got these at Kroger. I'm starting to shop at Kroger because I have this cash. I have the Cash app, and they have a cash card, and so they send you a card, and it's this black card. It's awesome, but they have
looks like a credit card. It's amazing.
It's great, but it's all black. It's cool, and then it has Yola's signature on it. But
That's so funny.
you get 10% off at Kroger. Like 10% back or whatever every time you go to Kroger. And that's like, I spent $100 at Kroger. That's $10 back.
Yeah, wow, that is good.
I love it.
I definitely use their little card.
Kroger
though,
card?
the Kroger card.
Yeah, because the Kroger card, you save, well, like on some items you save more money, and then on some items it's like just like automatically it's like 3% or something.
Sure.
I don't know what it is. So can you double up your rewards?
Yeah.
Dude, oh man,
I'm going to save tons of money.
Kroger messed up.
They did. They have no idea. I'm going to Kroger every day.
Well, we also the gas thing. You get a few
Yeah.
cents off your gas too.
When you spend $100, I think you get like 10 cents off of a gallon up into like one time I was living in another state and someone had did that. And so we were all going to fill up our cars. Like, okay, so we could get 10 cents off. We figured this out. They messed up, but then it was only to like a certain amount of money. So somebody didn't get the 10 cents. I can't remember.
That's
It
hilarious.
stopped. Yeah. So you can try it. I think 2 of us got gas and the third one didn't.
You were the third one?
No, I was like the first. So I got the 10 cents off. So it might have been up to $100 or something like that. Sounds right. Yep. Hey, does anybody have any questions? Have you, does anybody have any thoughts? Has anybody
Find that event.
have any experience whenever it comes to, volunteering or different opportunities? Maybe you have some thoughts on this. Let us know. Feel free to share this video out if you're watching on Facebook, and we appreciate you taking the time to tune in and listen and learn. But we're talking to Inspiring Orphan Care. There's an event coming up, and it's bowling for orphans, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's next
It's April 27th from from 1 to 4. Yeah, in Armadillo Lanes in Pasadena off of Preston.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
So
and did you get to watch that video I sent you about our awards?
I did.
Okay.
I
Did you
didn't show
email
Gardy.
it?
Okay.
Or
She messaged it
I would have loved
on Messenger.
okay.
Basically, we have a sweet friend, Sarah Wiley. Shout out to her. She put together a video of our grant recipients and just kind of their reaction. We got to video almost all of
Wow.
them. So it was kind of like that publisher clearinghouse moment
Yeah.
that we got to capture. And they agreed, of course, to allow us to share. Because we also want our donors, the people who, we don't take it lightly that they entrust us with their money. And we are 100% nonprofit. So everything that we make goes towards these adoption grants. We also want our donors to know where their money is going. So
They can see. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were able to help 4 families back in February, and we surprised all 4 of them. And it was kind of a really, really awesome thing. So she put together a little video of that. So
Oh, I'd like to see that.
Yeah,
But not having seen that, like, what kind of feedback did they give? What kind of like emotion did they have?
Sure. One of my favorites is a lady named Charla. She opened up the check, and she kept saying, "What is this? What is this?" She thought it was like a fake lottery ticket or something, where it was kind of a joke. And so when we told her it was a grant, she was very overwhelmed. So. And then one family I brought to coffee because they thought they were just going to be kind of meeting us. And then at the end of the meeting, I surprised them and said, well, actually, we wanted to help you guys out with your adoption journey, and gave them a check, and they just started crying. And yeah, I don't know, it's very emotional just thinking about it, because when I see their faces, it makes me just want to work even harder, to be able to help more families. So I wasn't going to cry. So it gets you,
Yes.
So.
Are y'all going to be able to maybe even capture some of the moments whenever they actually are able to bring the kids into the
great.
homes?
I hope so. I hope they'll invite us. I did get to go to a final adoption court date for one of our grant recipients last year. They invited me to go to the court date, and that was a very sweet moment to be able to share that with them. It's not just locally. We've been able to help people in Alaska, New York,
Wow.
Kentucky, Texas. So it's been kind of neat to be able to help people all over the states to be able to adopt. But yeah, I hope we get to be there. Our passion is also not just to throw them some money and leave, but to be able to kind of walk beside them, being a resource, being an ear for them. Because we know how it is personally to kind of just, all the fanfare's over, the honeymoon's over, and then you come home and it's just that adjustment stage. And so we also want to be able to be a resource for our grant recipients to be able to, cry on our shoulder, ask those questions, or just vent, just to kind of get those thoughts out, because you've got to have support
What
when
is
you
that?
come home.
That transition, whenever you mention it's almost like a honeymoon. Like, it's like you've been working towards this, you've been
Sure.
working towards it, you've been working, and then, oh my gosh, it's reality. We have our baby. This is awesome. And then that transition into everyday life. Like, this is life now. How does that go?
I'm not going to lie. I was overly prepared. I read lots of books, and we had to do a lot of modules online. But so I was prepared for my biological children to suffer or to transition. I was prepared for our daughter to transition. I even was prepared for my husband, but I wasn't prepared for how much it was going to stretch me. And so it's funny how God just uses things in your life to make you vulnerable, to where he can kind of come in and just be glorified through that. And so definitely was a transition. She had to learn English, like I said earlier. She, the manners, coming from an orphanage where, you got, they were fed, but just very limited resources. And then coming to our home with everything is so bright and shiny,
Yeah.
and just her trusting us that, we were going to be there for her, that we love her, we're not going anywhere, and just being able to go through that adjustment stage was difficult. She's did great. She never had any crying spells or lashing out at us or anything. She's a happy little girl. She's very life-giving, but she also she's more hyper than my other kids. And so a lot of times when she first came home, we all looked at each other like, oh my goodness. But that all settled down really well. And she got into the group of our little family, and she has a great relationship with each child. And with her and her daddy too. So it's been good, but it's a transition. I'm never gonna lie and say it's butterflies and rainbows, because every adoption is based on loss, and so from there you're just building from that. So
Yeah. Was there anything that was almost like a surprise, like, wow, this wasn't in the book, this wasn't, we weren't prepared for this?
No, I think I was aware of everything.
Yeah.
But I think I was probably more shocked when I actually met with a lady who talked about her going through some issues after the adoption. And I kept thinking, oh, that's not going to be me, And so, but then I realized, wow, I'm, personally, just it's a little personal journey that I had to go through as well. So.
How were your children, I guess, before, with you trying to prepare them? I mean, were they open to the idea the entire time, or they're just like, okay, we'll see how it goes?
No, that's a great question. When we first started talking and praying about adoption, my husband was like, well, let's talk to the kids about it, and I thought, oh gosh, they might say no, or they might think that we're crazy. But we sat down with them, all three of them, and told them that we were praying about adoption and what did they think. And they actually all three looked at us and said, well, yeah, why wouldn't we do this?
Yeah.
So so that was a very sweet blessing that they were on board from day one. And I kind of asked them individually, so how do you think it's going? And they all three said, sorry, it's so much better than I thought.
Wow.
So it's been sweet to kind of see their hearts be bent and open towards loving a little sister that came from a hard place, doesn't look like them, but but she acts like our family, she talks like our family. Like, she's really been fun to kind of watch her kind of grow into our heart. So
And now she started kindergarten.
I know she's Miss Chatty Cathy. I know all about everybody else's social calendars and what's going on there. One of my childhood best friends is her kindergarten teacher, so it's been really nice that she's been able to kind of keep an eye on her for me and to give her extra love and attention. But really, she told me at our teacher conference, she goes, I keep forgetting she's only been speaking English for less than a year, because you would never have known that she didn't need any ESL classes or anything like that. She just went on in and is thriving and reading now and writing, and so it's been really neat to kind of see. But she loves people, so she really likes school, and it's been fun for her.
Does she have those memories from before? Has she opened up any more about anything that, like, her life before being home?
No, that's a great question. We actually were just talking about this at home. I think the only memories she has now are the memories that we talk about, because we do talk a lot about Haiti, and I don't ever want her to not know that we love that country, we love the people there, and because all the new research says if you don't talk about things, then they think it's bad or secret, so we over talk about it. But it's funny that every once in a while she'll make some random comment, and we just laugh about it. But overall, I think a lot of her memories are fading. I tried to write a lot of things down that she would say when she first came home, so that way we could remember together. And we have lots of pictures and stuff. She had a sweet little time there at the orphanage and had a lot of great friends that she played with. And so we have pictures of them in her room. So at least she'll always have some good memories of them. And the nannies who took care of her, they really adored her. And so we talk about the nannies a lot. And so, yeah, she likes to talk about this one story. I don't think she remembers it. She just remembers me telling her when we first went down there, it was a 2-step process. We had to go down there for 2 weeks to be able to meet her. And during that time, we went to the orphanage every single day to play with the kids. Well, I had to do something. I'm a busybody. I'm a mom. I'm a nurse. I couldn't just sit around and watch people work. So I got up every day to help them prepare lunch for the kids. So they had this bread that they were putting, they call it mamba, but it's like peanut butter with high protein. So whenever anybody wasn't looking, I was just like slapping more peanut butter on the bread so that way the kids could get more, because they're just they're hungry, And the head nanny came over to me and she goes, Laura, that's too much mamba, and so I had to share it more. And so I told Anna that. So every once in a while she'll say, oh, do you remember that story where Mama D got on to you for putting too much mamba on the bread, so we laugh about that. But, when you're so young, I think she probably will have some flashbacks maybe when she gets older. But right now she just doesn't really talk much about it. And she adapted so well to the air conditioner, to the comforts of home. I mean, she's funny. I mean, she's really funny. So,
do you think has she already shown any desire to potentially go back and help or visit or?
No, she hasn't, but we as a family have agreed that we're definitely going to continue our relationship with Haiti. We think it's too soon to go back right now, but definitely we would love to go back and serve there and be able to allow her to see her country, and absolutely. So,
wow,
definitely.
So what was the name of the? So she was from what was the name of the place where she was being?
Sure. No. So we adopted her from an orphanage in Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
Okay.
And it was Hands Together to defend the children. And Carlo is the orphanage director, and maybe he'll see this video. He is just such a wonderful man that is doing great work in Haiti, and we adore him, and we definitely know that he is doing everything he can to advocate for these kids. So,
if somebody wants to donate, maybe they can't make the event or one of the other events that you've had, they weren't able to make it. Can they just make a donation or get involved some other way?
Yeah, we would love that. You can definitely go to our Facebook page and donate to our PayPal account that we have. And please know that all the proceeds that you donate will go towards adoption grants. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So,
what was the biggest grant that you guys gave? Can you give that?
Absolutely.
Like, what does that range in?
So, in February we gave a $2,000 grant, and then we gave a $7,000 grant. We gave a $10,000 grant, and we gave a $5,000 grant. So each grant was just based on the needs of the families, and we just kind of pray over what that number looks like. And really, it's what we have left in the kitty. We were able to kind of divide and give to our applications. We can't help everybody. I wish I had lots of more money, but we do have applications coming in that our board will pray over, and we just kind of select the families and see how much money we have and be able to divide it out.
Going into the adoption process or starting that road towards that, do you know how much it's going to be, or you just have an estimation and then you just know, like, as you get closer to it, it's like, well, it's just adding up. It's adding up.
Sure. Yeah. The adoption agencies usually give you kind of a little snapshot of what to expect.
Okay.
But there's always one more form that needs to be notarized, or one more fee that has increased this time, or, travel expenses are kind of a big deal too. So, yeah, they try to give you at least a ballpark figure to know. Yeah. And then you have, time to be able to make payments if you need to. So,
okay. So there's different ways to make it happen. If you are interested, you can, reach out, and I feel like she would answer all your questions. We don't know that. I mean, we love having these conversations because we are able to learn so much, and then let you learn as well.
The knowledge I have gained from being here at KHEA Radio is awesome. Just stuff that you never think about, sure. and this is one of them.
Well, I have a friend, we talk about this. You don't know what you don't know, so that's what we talk about. That's how we try to inspire people and always share your story.
Mm-hmm.
So
my parents, I don't think I've ever told you this. They were foster parents before I was born. I think it was right before I was born or something that they were foster kids, or foster family. So they were a foster family that helped out until I was. It was either right after I was born or right before I was born that they stopped being foster families. But they did. They were foster families the first part of their marriages.
Wow, that's great. There's so many needs for that.
Mm-hmm. That process seems like it would be a lot of paperwork, because they check the houses as well, and they just go through the whole thing with that as well too.
Yeah,
right?
References. Normally they want 2 or 3 professional references, friend references, your pastor's references, family references. They definitely do a good, thorough background checks on everybody to make sure the home is safe and the people are safe to bring children in. So that's great, Kurt, that your family did that. So.
And then foster to adopt is an option as well. We kind of mentioned that as well, so you can kind of see, hey, you're helping. There's a need, and then maybe you can say, hey, this is for me.
Absolutely. And sometimes the foster to adopt allows the biological families to kind of get some things together to be able to get their children back, and that's the goal. Every child needs to stay with their biological parents, but in some cases where it's not possible, then after they look and search for family members, then the foster families would have an option to either adopt or
I remember my parents ran into one of their foster kids later on when I was older. I think I was in high school or something. It's like, yeah, what? I didn't. It was not something that they talked about a whole lot, or I didn't remember until I was in high school and I met one. I'm like, oh, you lived with my parents?
Oh, that's
kind of thing. It was awesome.
You were probably being not nice to them at the bowling alley.
Beating them up.
You got to think about that. You never know somebody else's story, and that's just another thing that everybody has to think about. Whenever you run into somebody today, you don't know what they've been through that day. You don't know what they've been through in their life, and so you always got to, be kind and just spread positivity. Be nice to people, just because you never know how you can affect somebody's life, or that day or whatever. So
I'm kind of sad that we have the Oyster Festival that day, because I would definitely be at the Inspiring Orphan thing. Because I love bowling.
It's that Saturday.
It's the same Saturday.
This time of year,
it's not.
And I think the more people that we meet, man, we just see all of the awesome things going on, and we love to talk about them. And I wish we could attend all of them. If I almost said something that I instantly regretted, I said, I was going to say if we could clone Curt, and then I was like, no, I take it back. If we could cut him in half. And then just get rid of half. And then, I don't know. I would send him to all of the events, and I would go to the other half. So there's that.
I feel kind of, and I didn't realize this until, I used to always be like, well, why are the government people sending their representative? Like, I hear representing congressman, and I'm like, no, send the real guy. But now I understand that sometimes we're going to have to send somebody as KHEA instead.
We send Ethan.
And be like,
our intern,
our representative of KHEA.
And then also, their wife or their team or their family. There's a whole crew of people, and you have to work together. Like even you today, your husband, he's able to come in and help. It's a team. How has that team, grown since this nonprofit started?
No, I'm grateful that I have a sweet, supportive husband who kind of just runs our books for us and tells me how much money I have and where the money goes. And he's just supportive of any idea I have. He's always like, you know what, we'll figure it out how to make it work. And so, it's been great. I've really enjoyed kind of getting our kids involved too. Kind of now that they're getting a little bit older, they can have a part in our nonprofit. And because it is a team, and I have great friends who volunteer. I could not make it through the fun run and through the bowling tournament without friends who are willing to help us and walk along with us and give up their time and energy too. So
that's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So we got about 23 seconds. We're going to go back on the FM, and then we'll be able to just remind everybody all the awesome events going on and how they can get involved or learn more information. I was trying to reposition these tracks so that way we would hit this one.
Y'all listen to this. Next adventure.
Texas Yamaha Gulf Coast is a proud partner of KHEA Radio.
Good morning. You're listening to KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. This is Kickstart. I'm Gardy.
And I'm Curt.
And we are talking to Inspiring Orphan Care. We have a guest in studio. She's been awesome, and we've been learning about all the events that have been going on. Curt, I think in even 2 weeks, there is a bowling event that's taking place, right?
Yes, it's Bowling for Orphans. And you're just lucky I'm not going to be there, because I would have walked away with the bowling championship easily.
So there's an opportunity for other people, and
the 230 that I would bowl would be amazing. Everyone would be like, "What?
What's the highest you can bowl? 3?
I've bowled a 257 before.
Well, not just you, but what's a perfect score? Is it 300?
300.
Okay.
Yeah. So my highest is a 257. Usually I am between 170 and 200 every time I bowl.
What about you?
I don't know. I haven't bowled in a really long time, but I take time to warm up to it, because the first time I'm like, oh yeah, that was real bad. And so maybe the second game, maybe my best. And then I can't spin the ball oh, it's almost about to fall off, and then come back and knock everything down. That's not me. But I like to watch, and it's fun, even though I'm not the best, but it's still a great time. And then if it's for a good cause, it makes it even better.
Well, I agree, and that's why we have this bowling tournament coming up. It's Bowling for Orphans. It's Armadillo Lanes in Pasadena, Texas, off of Preston on April 27th from 1 to 4. We'd love for you guys to come out. Plus, it's an 80s theme, so come dressed up in your favorite 80s outfit.
Where did that idea come from? Hey, let's make it a theme.
No, it's great. We have some friends, Gretchen, who is a long-term bowler, and I think she's the one that bowls those 300s, Kurt. But she wanted to kind of help out, and we had another friend, John, that said, "Have you ever thought about a bowling tournament?" So they kind of put their heads together, and they're like, "Hey, sometimes these tournaments are really successful with a theme. Let's do a theme."
Ooh,
so
yeah.
it kind of get people excited.
Hey, y'all should make the color run, which already has a theme with the color, be
Sure.
like it's an 80s color run.
I know.
Where do you see that at? I haven't. Maybe
How
there is
about
one.
an 80s color run with bowling?
An 80s bowler theme
And then
for
they
the color run.
And then they can fish too on the side, right?
Right.
And then stop by Macy's. Don't forget that on the way.
Yeah, May the 1st through the 15th.
Yes, Macy's Give Back program is May 1st through the May 15th. It's a wonderful opportunity to give extra change for their Roundup campaign, and we're the beneficiaries this year.
All right, and Jenna said she can't wait to see Doug in his MC Hammer pants. As I'm sure there are a lot of people that
love
are
it,
waiting.
yeah.
That's exciting. Can he do the MC Hammer dance?
He actually is a worship pastor, and he's got a lot of rhythm, but something about dancing just is not his thing. So, but I love him for it anyway.
Kurt,
so.
maybe you could have dressed up like Vanilla Ice.
Ice.
He had really cool hair. He's almost like early 90s, but it's like that late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, sure. There's lots of fun memories from the 80s, definitely. But it's all coming back, though,
Yes.
All the trends are coming back.
I see it in music or hear it in music as well.
Sure.
The bell pant or the bell bottoms.
That's 70s.
I know, but they're making a comeback too, and it drives me nuts. I think they're ugly.
Wow, Kurt, you sound like the old grandpa. I'll be like, no, that's not the trend,
Yeah.
Get off my
Get
yard.
off my yard.
So there's also a fishing event taking place. When is that one?
Absolutely. So it's June 1st in Galveston Bay. We're having a fishing tournament, and we will have our captain's meeting on May the 30th at Fuzzy's Tacos in Link City. So please check out our Facebook page, Inspiring Orphan Care, to get more information. And we love for you guys to come out and fish with us, bowl with us, round up your shopping for us. Again, all the money that we raise help other families afford the high cost of adoption. And also, we just want to inspire others to be part of the orphan crisis.
Yeah, and how can people get in contact with you to learn more about these events? What's your website? What's your Facebook?
Sure. Our website is www.inspiringorphancare.com or .org, sorry. And then our Facebook page is Inspiring Orphan Care. You can also find us on Instagram. That's our handle too, Inspiring Orphan Care.
All right. Well, we appreciate you making time and coming and talking to us.
No, guys, thank y'all so much, and we'll definitely be in touch, okay?
All right. Hey, tomorrow,
Pack show.
it's going to be amazing. We're going to be
So much fun.
on location at Furniture Zone in Dickinson, Texas, and it's going to be a great time. So we're going to be talking to AJ's Meat Market. We're going to have Bay Area Alliance in. We're also going to have KHEA Wellness, and it's going to be awesome. So make sure that you tune in tomorrow morning as we're on location.
I also heard that there might be some breakfast tacos that Stephanie is bringing for us.
I hope she makes them because she seems like she is a master chef. Every time I see a picture, and if she buys them, that's cool too, because she knows the places to go in the area. But
Yes.
man, whenever I see pictures of food that she actually makes, it just makes my mouth.
Yeah,
just
so
roll.
she told me earlier in the week that we were going to have breakfast tacos. So that is a show that you're not going to want to miss.
Love it.
8:30 tomorrow morning, live from Furniture Zone. We are live every morning from 8:30 to 11. But tomorrow, you're going to want to tune in for that, for sure.
If you're tuning in right now on Facebook, feel free to still share this video out. People will go back and watch, and they'll be able to learn about Inspiring Orphan Care, about reality wrestling, and everything else we have going on. We actually have a cruise giveaway video going right now. Your like, share, comment on the video.
You know, it's funny because there were people who were tuning in last hour to watch Ryan Davidson, and we talked about the cruise video. And I saw after he got off, they went back through and were commenting and said, I just watched your show for the first time. Hope I win.
Yeah, so you can go on a cruise with Royal Caribbean. That's compliments of Your Vacation Edge Cruise Planners with Karen and her team making that possible. Royal Caribbean, thank you so much for allowing us to do this as well. So like, share, comment on that video. It's pinned on the top of our Facebook page. You could be cruising later this year. Make sure you just send us some pictures, and we'll feel like we're there, through the social media.
The winner will
Powerful
be
place.
announced on May 31st. We still don't have a time yet. We're not going to do it on our show. We're going to
Right.
have a special show for that so that you can tune in and find out if you're a winner. We'll get those details as it gets closer to May 31st.
This has been Kickstart. Be blessed. Have a good day. Coming up next is Bethel Extravagant on KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. It's been Kickstart. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:30. We're on location at Furniture Zone.
All right. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye, Facebook.
Have a good one.